Good morning and happy Saturday. Excuse my floppy green screen. It's a pleasure to see everyone, and we're glad to be here. We're still waiting for a couple of players, but we want to do a quick sound check just to make sure that everybody's looking good, feeling better. Thank you so much for joining us for Saturday morning cartoons. I promise we're going to get to the action soon. Let's get a quick player sound check here. Kevin, give us a 10-second spiel on something that you know something about.
Absolutely. I am a BS artist, so I will just spout facts about absolutely nothing. So that is what I'm doing now. I am entertaining you with no information whatsoever.
Wow, informative indeed. Excellent. Danae, give us a quick sound check.
I'm Danae, and I am a collector of math rocks. I love math rocks, all kinds of math rocks, gemstone math rocks, just all kinds of math rocks.
What's your favorite set look like?
My favorite set is my green cat's eye set.
Now, when you say in math rocks, you're really talking about dice goblining.
Uh-huh.
I
Yep. But
understand.
that is
Excellent.
math rocks, so.
We support dice goblins in this channel. I think
Good for
I
you.
think that's really where we need to start that response. Is dice goblins are welcome here. Anybody who gathers, collects, or stores more than one set of dice is a goblin. If you have a horde, you're a dragon. But how many d6s do you have, Danae? Because that's really the only dice we roll here.
Right now, I have 8 ready.
8?
Because if they start
D6s?
rolling bad, they go in the dice timeout chair or in my mimic dice jail. Well, my dice throne is a little golden throne with like a little red padding for the good dice. It has a little crown, a gold crown. The timeout chair has a little dunce cap, and the mimic jail. My youngest Shay, her roommate made me and painted and everything.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Hmm. Yeah. So I hadn't played in a long time, and my youngest runs games at conventions here in Texas. So
Oh, very cool. Does she also run Monster of the Week, or is it other stuff?
no D&D, but she does. They do a My Hero Academia
Fun.
kind of base.
That's very fun. My one of my favorite animes, really. I think they've done a really good job taking the kind of I don't know, the basics of the shonen jump and kind of accelerating or expanding on them in unique ways.
Yeah.
All right. Players in the chat, how are things sounding? Friends along the way, things sound good? Okay. Uh, Hey, Kevin, Danae, can you give us a quick test to see if this echo is coming through when my headphone is mic'd?
Sure,
Just,
absolutely.
just
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Echo check. How's everything going? I hope our echo is clear.
hello, hello, hello.
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 Hello, hello, hello.
Hmm.
Hello. We're now an a cappella group.
Sure,
Barbershop
yeah.
Quartet.
That's right.
The Spooky Misters.
We are multifaceted.
Hello,
I'm
Kirsten.
so sorry for the delay today, you guys. Somehow Discord decided it didn't want to work on my laptop and it needed to be reinstalled and it had updates and all that
What a
jazz, so I
morning.
apologize.
Oh, wow. Well, you are with us now.
I can't hear you now. I used to be able to hear you, but I don't hear you now.
Yeah, there, that's back. That's back.
No, totally fine. And again, I apologize for being late. I don't know why Discord didn't like me this morning. Oh no.
My name is Danae. I'm calling in from Texas, where it's extremely hot all the time. I have 2 children, and I play a lot of different TTRPGs, and have been since 1982. I would say 5 to 10. 5. I'll give it to Kevin because Kevin has played before, so not a complete newbie. No offense, newbies aren't bad. Clarify.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kevin. I am calling in from Brooklyn, New York. I will be playing the Monstrous this morning. I suppose I consider myself in the 5 to 10 TTRPG range, and I'm about to drag some newlywed friends of mine kicking and screaming into the void. So either I will run something for myself, or I will try and add some company here on Aaron's stream. See if I can get him into Monster of the Week.
Delightful. Send to all your friends. Monster of the Week is one of the best systems, and we honestly just love to have new people playing it. A new player and a new friend at the table. Please give yourself an introduction.
My name is Kay. I am definitely the newbie in multiple senses of the word. I've only been playing TTRPGs for like 3-ish years. It's like since the pandemic kind of thing. And similarly, not too many systems. I've played in some different homebrew games, which is kind of probably a weird start into TTRPGs. And then also dungeon crawling. This is my first Monster of the Week. D&D, obviously. Yeah, I'm just trying to try out as many systems as I can. So thank you for having me, and thanks in advance for your patience as I bumble my way through my first Monster of the Week.
No worries at all. Let's first and foremost say thank you for coming. You're going to have a great time. Now, the second thing we need to do here is introduce our characters. So now we're going to go back around and we're going to tell a little bit about who we're playing today. The best thing to do would be to talk about your name, your playbook, and a couple things that the townsfolk would know about you. Are you a local? Are you just passing through? Did you drive the mystery machine in yourself? So tell us a little bit about your character, Jinx.
Yeah, so Jinx is canonically / not canonically, because copyright reasons, think of her like Velma's weird cousin, Velma Dinkley. So her name is Jinx Dinkley. She is a van lifer, lives in her van with her Great Dane named Cluedo. for those of you who don't know, Cluedo's like the British version of Clue, for those who are familiar with that board game. She is kind of a private eye blogger doing university online to get her official PI license, but takes odd jobs on the side while putting herself through school. And so she's been based out of this town for a while, but she's not from here, you know.
Definitely. It happens all the time. A local community college often brings new blood to the shelf. Let's pass it off to Kevin. Kevin, what do we need to know about Marcus?
Hello. Marcus is around 5'11", slim build, is always wearing or never far from his gray hoodie. He has found work at Maggie's Diner as one of the cooks. Been in town for around 2 months and seems to keep finding himself where the action is.
That's so true. Marcus has been at the center of so many different things going wrong in Havens Mill lately that it's hard for the sheriff to think he's not involved. We've seen a few suspicious glances your way, Marcus, and they're watching the diner close. Let's see our last hunter for now. We may have a fourth join us at some point. Danae, will you please describe your spooky?
Morgan is a very petite female with golden brown hair, which she tends to wear. It's like very, very curly. So she tends to wear it up like in a kind of like a tousled mess. She has central heterochromia, so her eyes are more than one color. She is the spooky. She dresses she's the descendant of Ezra Miller, who is one of the founding fathers of Havens Mill. So she comes from a wealthy family. She also owns Moonlit Margins, which is Moonlit Margins cafe in the French sense of coffee, and bookshop with 2 P's and an E. And yeah, she loves her town. She was born and raised here. And she just likes people.
Such an important truth about Morgan. She really does care for the community. And her shop, the Moonlit Margins, sits on the main thoroughfare of downtown, a little brick building. Now, the next thing we're going to do is histories. An important part of Monster of the Week is to connect our players together and find a way to make roleplay easy through connected and interconnected histories. You're going to flip your pages over and take a look at the backside of your playbooks. But it's impossible to connect without knowing my character, the town of Havens Mill. We can see just on the edge of the town, the town's namesake, an old historic mill. 2 stories of brick and time, worn, tuck-spotted, and an enormous wooden wheel on the side, still moving sometimes when the river gets high. We can see a bridge that leads to downtown, but for now we pan all the way across to quaint New England settlements, the trees thick, and across to an Atlantic coastline, a bay of crashing waves and sharp stones. We can see a lighthouse, the red stripe on its belly repainted since last the color vampires stole its color. It looks out over a harbor and some boats, and the light just occasionally looks back far enough to catch the parking lot at Maggie's Diner. A little slipstream-style diner, the old metallic 50s seats on the inside, the sign bright and glowing, the coffee always fresh. And up on the hill, a gleaming dome, the temple to modernity, Havens Mill Observatory holds its space. We can see as when the night skies and stars come on overhead, the town shuts down the lights except for the street lamps on Main Street, so the observatory's eye can see far. Our characters are either passersby or residents of the town of Havens Mill. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you're connected to another hunter. Looking at those histories, do any of those prompts make sense?
Well, I did talk with, not talk. So I was thinking with Jinx. Jinx comes in, since I run an occult bookshop, comes in to get information, order books, get her coffee that's named after herself, which is called Jinx's Mystery Brew. And so, yeah, that's how my character is connected to Jinx. Morgan's character is connected to Jinx.
All right, Kirsten, you've got a responsibility here. How did you come about getting a drink named after Jinx here? What did you do to get so famous at the shop?
Well, Jinx is currently living out of her van with her dog, so she doesn't have a kitchen in her van, so she probably eats out a lot in the town, and I can see her alternating between, going to the diner in the evenings to get her dinner and going to the occult bookshop / coffee shop in the morning to get her kind of coffee fixings. And she is major book nerd, is always at the library or the bookshop picking up new occult books.
Wonderful. So you've come around for the books, and through this dedicated time and ritual, we've seen Jinx's mystery brew become a thing. Excellent. Kirsten, you now have a responsibility to connect your hunter to Marcus. How do you know our diner chef?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I think unfortunately, Morgan's coffee shop / bookstore does not offer a dinner menu, so the diner's kind of Jinx's option if she wants to not cook for herself and find food in town. So it's probably again through long association where she orders probably the same thing every other day going into the diner.
Yeah, we don't talk about the DoorDash bill. We don't talk, or I guess we need a different name. Somebody come with a good name. Home hustle. We don't talk about the home hustle, Bill. Wonderful. So we see you at the diner at nights. We see you in the shop with 2 Ps during the daytimes. A regular around town. Marcus, how do you perceive the strange girl who comes in with a dog, despite all health codes to the contrary?
Oh no, I'm so player thing, I was very worried about how her dog would take to me. We'll see that resolved later. I personally, both player and character, am a huge dog lover. So I would absolutely take to her if she comes in alone, give her extra scraps, and make sure that her little baby, because all dogs are little baby, is well fed whenever they come into the diner.
Well-fed, well-watered, well-pet, and beloved.
Oh,
yeah. We didn't realize that we had the most important dog around, just right under our noses this whole time, but we did. And we'll try to get a good picture of Clue up. I think we're going to make him into a character card, perhaps. Cluedo will be famous. Marcus is in desperate need of a connection point to Morgan. Do we have one already?
We do indeed. We spoke a little bit offline about some things. Both very excited about playing today. And going off of the backs of our character sheets, we both delved into our history somewhat. And I've decided that Danae is somewhat related to my curse and may have a cure. I don't know that yet, but she certainly does. So I have been a visitor in her bookshop when I thought I might lose control, and she was able to help me through that bad experience.
We can see a kind of a traumatic.
So sorry, I'm not hearing you. I'm not sure if that's just an issue on my end.
No, it's probably me.
I was about to say, I'm afraid you're not coming through here either.
Am I not coming through now?
Afraid not.
Nope, that was me. I was on mute.
Are you muted?
Yeah, so Morgan has been teaching Marcus just with her spooky powers, because
I hear you now, Aaron.
oh, right. Oh, okay. Morgan has been helping Marcus, just kind of, not necessarily, he hasn't lost control, but she's been trying to teach him so that if anything ever happened, how to get control back. And help him try to do research and stuff, because she did just add a mystic library to her occult bookstore.
A mystic library that gives you the ability to investigate mysteries better, to learn about the occult, and may even be bringing Marcus to your cafe more often than he expected to be there, as he, too, looks for secrets about himself. Wonderful. Are there any other prompts that are jumping off the page? Any other ways we need to get these hunter connected before we can get started?
No, I think we're good to go.
Mhm.
They
In that
seem
case-
pretty well connected. It seems like they're all hanging out at the diner, or more specifically the bookshop, all the time.
All the time is right. It's a small town. That's kind of where we hang out in towns like these. Excellent. Our hunters connected. Let us begin the story in earnest. We can see the town of Havens Mill moving across it like the camera sweeps over. The waves crash against the stones. We can see in the harbor boats are under the light of the afternoon sun, pulling in the last of their nets for the day, readying themselves for the evening's catch being transferred from the boats. The decks and the storage containers deep within these professional vehicles, and onto the decks of the fish market and the wharf, and where the dock would take their catch and sell it to the peoples of Havens Mill and the oncomers who seek to understand the local fresh foods of this place. We can see people pulling in enormous nets, trawlers full of fish, big and small, fishermen dressed in gaiters and overalls waterproof up to the shoulders, enormous gloves, throwing things back into the sea as they pluck what they want from the net's bounty. And we can see as across the way, an old, practically derelict boat. The name on the side, letters worn with time, some of them peeled off. You can still see the imprint of a T at the beginning, but the rest of the boat is so worn that all's left on the side is hers old. We could see a grizzled old man, probably in his early 60s. You would well know him. We can see Greg Anderson. He's out there all by himself, pulling up lobster traps. And as he goes to take the last one up, his boat lurches from side to side. We watch as he nearly falls, his instincts from decades at sea keeping him on his feet. He stumbles back, pulls the net, and lurches forward. And as he does, the net comes free from the water, empty of all of its catch. The lines severed as if with knives. We can see something enormous crash into the side of the boat. He doesn't see it, but a shadow passes beneath him, and something grates across the bottom. Greg, shouting, "Oh, yes!" Takes his boat from side to side, and as things start to settle, looks around. Fishermen from all over are beginning to head his way, but he knows a legend, an adventure when he sees one, eyes bright with glee. He takes off towards the docks with his evidence in hand, and trailing all of the other fishermen in the harbor who bore witness to his moment, he heads for help, or for at least a good story. We turn back to town. Let's get a chance to meet our characters with some little vignettes. Marcus, it is nearing the end of your morning shift at the diner. Describe your character and what you're doing for us.
So he is working the grill, trying to get the last few orders out. He's wearing a black t-shirt, blue jeans with the Maggie's Diner apron on, and just trying to keep control of the grill, come back and refresh everyone's drinks if needed. Always with one eye on his hoodie hanging on a shelf in the back of the kitchen.
The gray hoodie sits on a hook, pulling the whole thing taut and down. It's a well-worn sweater, and it doesn't feel or look starched in any way. We can see as you pull this soft garment off the head. We've watched you go from place to place, filling a cup, saying a hello. Maggie gives you the nod for a bit of fresh air before the last stretch of the diner's early shift. And we see Marcus pull the apron, grab the sweater, and step outside. The air is crisp, Marcus. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. You can sense that there's something on the air. And as you step outside, what do we see our monstrous do for your 10-minute break?
Probably just sort of lean against a post, one of the light posts outside, just so that people watching, waving to people as they come by. He may have some headphones that he slips in, just sort of listening to music and enjoying the crisp air.
Our monstrous, what do we hear kind of like just low jams? What genre can we pick up from the drums as you walk from the back of the diner into the woods and start to watch the green foliage and the sounds of nature pass you by?
The player is seeping in, so we're going for some cheesy 80s pop rock.
Jamming. You make your way through the trunks of the trees passing by, and you come out onto a nice little jut of stone. It looks out over the harbor. The pathway that goes to it isn't quite a hiking trail, but it's a well-known footpath or game trail that has been turned into a passage for humans. We see as Marcus, perhaps one of few at the diner that knows of this secret place. You look down over the harbor and you can see the waves crashing in, the lighthouse's beams on a day that's cloudy like today sweeping across the way, and you see something down below. A bunch of boats in the harbor. 2/3 of the town, it seems like, is gathered at the docks. Wooden boards are bowing under the weight of dozens of people clustered around what looks like the old the kind of the classic boat, oldest boat in the harbor. Marcus, what do you want to do?
I would be curious. There's no fair or anything going on, nothing that would draw this much attention, so I would take a walk down and see what's going on.
Knowing that the Yacht Festival was 2 weekends ago and the Lobster Fest is in 4 weeks, you're sure this shouldn't be anybody down here. We see as you start to stumble your way down the cliff, sliding on the talus of stone. You don't have long, but you can make it back. And those scrubs up in the kitchen can handle it for 5 minutes, can't they? Go ahead and roll to investigate a mystery, Marcus.
Sure. That is a 7.
A 7 is a mixed success. You'll get one question. The questions from the list are as follows. If you have your reference sheets up after this, it would be wonderful. For our investigate a mystery questions, what happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? Or what is being concealed here?
Have to start from the beginning. So, what happened here?
It looks like there is an enormous gathering of folks, the likes of which only happens around town when there is something strange occurring. We can see as you get closer to the harbor, a minute of scrambling down the hillside and crossing a 2-lane road to get there, that Greg Anderson is holding thrall. The people around the docks are listening to him almost as if he's standing on a soapbox giving a sermon. When you get close enough to hear the words on the edge of the wind, he says, "And it was this big. I saw it with my own eyes." And you can hear the crowd gasp and turn back, looking fearfully at the water. Greg's boat was attacked. As you hear him say this and look at it, you can see there are gashes down the side of the plexiglass exterior of the bottom half of his backside of the boat.
Sorry, you. I will walk up a little bit closer, trying to make my way through the map. You say your boat was attacked. What happened?
Oh, I was out there pulling in my last catch of the day, and I went to go haul in the lines. They was all tight, full with lobster, I'm sure of it. And then, oh, what do you know, but the lines were snapped. I was thrown nearly from my boat, and then I found that some foul creature was moving about underneath me. It lurched the boat from back to forth and scraped along the backside.
That seems incredible. Are you okay?
Okay, I'm better than okay. I've got evidence of the Haven's Mill monster, the beast in the bay. I couldn't be better, laddie. And what I want to ask you before we transition to another scene here is, how well do you know Greg Anderson? Is he, do you go to the fish markets ever? You know, is this a character you have engaged with before?
I'd say probably casually. It'd probably be surface level, like I would go there to pick up seafood, that type of thing, but we haven't had many in-depth conversations.
In that case, we see as you look down at your watch, kind of seeing that this is going to get to a head here, and realize you've got to get back to the cafe. We see a strange man, someone you've interacted with once or twice, but not somebody that you know well, telling a tall tale. It can't be anything but the scratches on his boat are strange. We see as you go to turn back, and the fishermen all around him are shaking their heads. He's already turned back to the crowd like, "Who'll go? I leave at twilight. This creature needs to be hunted, and I'll put a harpoon in its belly." And you can see all of the other fishermen are almost certainly looking like they're not going to go. You may be able to still find a ride on this boat if you're interested later, Marcus. We see you head back for the diner. Is there anything else along the way?
I think I would have asked what this legend is. What is the Haven's Mill monster?
See you pull a fisherman to the side as you're, readying yourself to leave. Greg already in the throes of his next monologue. And the fisherman looks at you and says, "The Haven's Mill monster? Why, every good body of water has a creature, a beast that haunts its waterways and bays. Ours," and he looks proud all of a sudden, "ours looks like the Lob Ness monster, a distant relative." And he points up at the dock sign. For the first time, you see that along with the rules of the dock and the general facility rules, we can see that there is a sign that says, Haven's Mill Harbor, and above it is like a dinosaur, plesiosaurus head. It's smiling. It looks like a friendly cryptid, but it's kind of like the Bigfoots you see all over the Pacific Northwest.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
We see Marcus scramble back up towards the diner and arrive just a few minutes late to the weeds. Your friends, your coworkers, as you pull your apron on, look to you desperately for help. We turn away. Across the city in another place, perhaps studying somewhere, looking for books in the library. Where do we find our meddling kid? Okay.
Yeah, I think Jinx is in her usual haunt at Morgan's. Oh, apologies. What is the name of Morgan's bookshop / coffee shop?
Moonlit Margins.
Moonlit Margins.
Cafe
Yeah,
and bookshop.
fabulous. Okay, yeah. Jinx is in Moonlit Margins cafe and bookshop getting her regular coffee order and seeing if her books came in that she ordered from Morgan.
Behind the counter, Morgan's regular employee, the only other person you've ever seen employed by the shop, Candy, a teen with tufts of colored hair coming out of a relatively dark brown mop of hair. She hands you a brown paper wrapped parcel with a couple of books in it. You can see that they've done careful to tie the string around the top in a nice bow and present it to you. She hands it across the table with your usual order. Do you order your own drink at the Moonlit Margins, or do you typically go for something more simple?
I always just ask for my regular. I get the same thing every day.
In this case, she passes it right across. Not a concern. You have your books in hand. We see as you open the package, as you take your regular seat, what's the book on the top? And as you read it, will you describe your character for us?
Absolutely, yes. So this is a compendium of all of the academic knowledge about werewolves. So she has been researching all of the kind of spooky things going on around town. So she's slowly making her way through the cryptids. Jinx Dinkley, for a character description, looks like our favorite sleuth. She has kind of a black bob, thick glasses, and in this instance, she is wearing a orange hoodie with a Sasquatch on the front of it. And then by her regular table in the coffee shop, Cluedo's just in a downstay waiting patiently for his pup cup.
Candy brings it over, pets the dog. We can just see an absolutely beautiful little scene of Cluedo. Now, Cluedo, does he speak like Scooby? Tell me a little bit about the dog. Like, how does he interact with Candy as she comes over to pet?
Right. So the thing you have to know about this duo is that Jinx is like Velma if Velma believed in conspiracy theories. So she 100% believes that monsters are real and that if something is suspicious, it is probably something supernatural, not something like an easy explanation. And Cluedo, he's much more serious than Scooby and he's much more of a serious character, much more likely to charge towards the danger than run from it.
We see Cluedo nuzzle up against Candy. She passes him a bowl of snacks and goodies, and then we see him look to the door of the office. Morgan, you're behind the office door doing something important, businessy, magic-y, who knows what it is. As we enter in through the office door, can you please describe your character and what you're doing?
Morgan is... she's about 5'5". She has golden brown hair. She has central heterochromia. She dresses like expensively, but very gothic. Kind of a stylish gothic. And right now she is kind of finishing setting up her mystic library because she just got the books in. And is hoping that these books will help them find some answers to maybe Marcus's problems, or if anything comes up, help them assist them when she decides to use her gifts.
Brand new set of books does a world of difference in a shop like this. You can take something so small as a normal situation in an everyday and really begin to find clues and systems and observations in it. I think, Morgan, you're a little lost in the sauce. We see you 3 or 4 books across the way, the whole desk stacked up with the new things, trying to kind of put together and catalog your new haven. As you sort of start to just kind of like panic and see, you're overwhelmed. You got to go get a drink, and you think you might hear a snuffling, cute dog just past the door.
So I kind of walked to the door and I said, "Is that my favorite dog?" And I'll come out and Jinx, Cluedo, and walk over and like ruffle Cluedo's ears and stuff.
Memo.
We see as Cluedo stands up at attention, the two of you meet together, and you can see that she's received her new books. Kay, what is Jinx reading? You've got one of them open on the table. What does Morgan look over to see in the first few pages?
A compendium of cryptids. It's one of the latest works of a local professor that specializes in the occult.
Morgan, as you step up, you can see the Haven's Mill monster, the beast of the bay, Salty Scylla. You can see this enormous sort of dinosaur-style creature across one page. It looks like Jinx has stumbled upon the East Coast cryptid section of the book. It's divided geographically, and the one that she's looking at right now is the one that the town is famous for. You can see that creature you've known your whole life. Your elementary school was the Beasts, and they had a little cute logo of this dinosaur-like creature for their mascot. As you see this book on the table, what do you say?
You know, I swear when I was in elementary school that I was out one night and I could swear I saw it. Now, I wasn't sure because some of my gifts weren't really there yet, but I think I did. I'd like to think I did. But I don't think it's a bad creature. I think it's more of a creature that's misunderstood. And she'll sit down after grabbing her chai masala.
Jinx goes, can we really judge monsters by the same morality as humans? Is it good or bad to act in which the way that is natural for them? I just think that they're cool. I don't necessarily judge their actions.
No, that's actually a fair point. Actually, that is a very fair point. But sometimes I feel like the reason that they act the way they do is because we, as humans, act the way we do towards them. With fear, with hate, with dislike.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I wonder if there's a section in this book that talks about them from like a historical perspective, you know? Are they like the grizzly bear where we have displaced them from their natural habitat?
Well, I would say yes. We're out in their domain all the time. Probably makes it a little bit pushy of us, but coexisting is important. Also, just to let you know, I've set up a mystic library back in the back office. Moved my office upstairs to the attic. So it's there if we ever need it, or if you ever need it.
Amazing. I was waiting for that to go live. Do I need a library card? Do I pay like a membership fee? How do I get on this list?
No, you just, when you need it, you come and tell Candy or myself, or my cousin, and say, hey, I'm going to go in and take a look at the library. I've got something I need to research. You should know better than that.
But you can pay me your late fees if you want, Candy says from behind the counter. And then the door above, the bell above the door opens, and we see as a woman enters. She's got darker skin, kind of shoulder-length hair. She has a set of glasses kind of hanging from one of those chains around her neck. She walks in with kind of an air of, what is this strange pseudoscience place? And as she kind of enters, she gives the three of you a quick smile, and we see as she walks towards Candy, as if the two of you are just customers. Excuse me, is this the best place to get coffee in town? Candy looks at you, Morgan.
Well, I would like to think so. Welcome to Moonlit Margins Cafe and Bookshop.
Well, an absolute pleasure to be welcomed. I suppose, I've got a few things to do in town. You might be good people to ask. Are you locals?
Yes, I was born here.
Well, I've heard tell earlier this day that a man was, how shall I say this? made contact with something he could not explain down in the harbor. I've been sent by the community college to investigate, and I was wondering if a shop like this might know anything about what might have done this.
Did they happen to mention what the creature looked like?
He claimed, as far as the reports say, that he had only seen the shadow of the creature.
Large, medium, small. Maybe we should check it out.
Well, large is certainly the way. I suppose that the easiest way to answer that question would be to say, it was so big it rocked his boat. I am under the impression that he has, well, pulled his boat from the harbor and found that there are enormous marks underneath it. We're a little concerned.
Jinx wanders over to this newcomer and says, "Do you have a copy of the report?" And I hand her my business card that just says Jinx, private investigator of the occult.
I think this warrants a roll here. Kay, give us a quick investigate a mystery here. Let's see what she does have on hand.
Awesome. Okay. And for those of us very new to the system, is this still the same 2d6 or?
Excellent question. So for a Monster of the Week roll, anytime that you're rolling, you're going to roll with 2d6s. You're going to add it to one of your 5 modifiers. For an Investigate a Mystery, you're going to add Sharp. I believe that's our Meddling Kids' strong suit. Am I right?
Yep, that's +2.
In that case, if you get 7 to 9, you'll have a mixed success, 1 question. On a 10 plus, you get 2, and on a 6 or below, I will take a hard move, and we can talk about options.
May
What
I
did you get?
attempt
I
to
rolled-
help out?
Oh, I also rolled a 9, and that's +2, so that's 11.
11.
Nice.
Nice work. That gives you 2 questions. Do you have the questions handy?
Yes. If this is one of her moves of the tell me the truth.
Will you please read the new move for us? For those who don't know, A Meddling Kid is a playbook, I believe a fan made. So we're going to see some really fun new moves here. Will you read the move out loud?
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me the truth is when you are questioning somebody to investigate a mystery, you can add these questions to the list you may choose to ask. I'm assuming that they have to tell me the truth. And the options are, who has something to gain from this situation? What are you plotting? Are you lying to me? And who knows about blank?
That's potent. Those are some great questions. Awesome. You can choose from the original Investigate a Mystery list as well if you'd like to start small and simple, or you can make your way straight to those to the heart of the issue with those questions from your playbook.
Yeah, absolutely. So well, did she answer my original question of I had asked to see if she had the report?
What reports she'll have are dependent on what questions you'll ask. You can see that she certainly has a folder of paperwork under a clipboard holding it all together and down. It's pinned on one side. You can see the edge of a Polaroid in there. She's got some things, but depending on what you ask is what she'll have.
I say I'll ask her who knows about the situation or who knows about the attack.
This information came from the docks. I have a man down there who's been working in the tide pools, collecting data on the change in things due to climate change. As the pools warm, the numbers of certain creatures have been increasing and decreasing. He sent me this report this morning, and she goes to hand it across to you. What is your second question?
This is me flipping back to the mystery playbook.
What was it going to do? What is being concealed here, or what happened here?
From her explanation, it sounded like she didn't have the answers about any of the information about the creature because Morgan had already asked, do we have info about the creature? And they only saw the shadow and thought it was large, and that was kind of it.
You may be able to put together parts that they don't know. She certainly has a report in her hands, but the information comes from another source. And she seems like she's as curious as you are. When she hands you the folder, what do you want to be inside?
Information about what kind of creature this could be.
We can see that the local observatory has already started using some of its tools to try to help out, and you can see that there are images of the shadow taken from the observing equipment that is pointed down at the bay and the water lines. You can also see that a few of the boats have printed and given up their reports as well. There's been some sonar to determine the depths where they're fishing, and they have seen something truly enormous move by. The size of a boat, if not larger. There's speculation in the report from the fisherman saying that he believes it's a big shark. A Jaws situation is what he calls it. But there is no confirmation of that in any way in the data that you can see.
Jinx is going to go back to her book in the corner and start flipping through looking for something like Ogopogo Loch Ness Monster, but for like East Coast.
We see as you start to flip. Morgan, will you take any last moves here before we head to our fourth player? Hello, Qua. Welcome to the stream.
Actually, no. I think I'll wait.
We see as our Spooky heads to the counter to sip on her drink, thinking of all of the connection points behind in the haven, and our meddling kid begins to flip pages. Hello, Qua. Good morning. How can we introduce you? Will you please give us a quick introduction to your character and yourself?
Hello, my name's Qua. Pronouns are he, him. Playing Gina Barasco. Pronouns she, her. She on the search for her aunt that has disappeared after some supernatural events, and currently a writer, but she's on the hunt, on the road, and she's found herself at Haven's Mill due to her aunt's notes.
Seeking for the threads of a mystery, familial in making, we see Juno the Searcher. On this day, at this time, Juno, we find you somewhere outside, near a development of sorts. Something is going up in the city, and you are next to it. Where do we see our searcher?
I feel like she's on the street. She's walking towards the diner because she hasn't eaten or had any coffee yet.
The diner's open doors are always welcoming for those whose mornings have gone a little bit slower than anticipated. We can see as Juno enters into the space, it's empty. You've never seen the diner empty before, not once. There's certainly Maggie's behind the counter, and there's a cook behind the thing. You can hear the sounds and sizzles of preparation, but there's no customers in the building. That's very strange, Juno. What do you want to do?
I think she's gonna just talk to Maggie. Hi Maggie. Pretty unusual, right?
It's not good. It's been a long time since I was empty before. I'll tell you, this town has kept me in business for many decades now, and it's a shock to see empty seats. Are you here for some breakfast, Juno?
Yeah. Can I get the paper too?
Of course. She slides the paper across to you. We can see as you settle in, there doesn't appear to be anything in today's paper. You look through it, you've got the same junk that you always see. So we see you toss it aside. maybe finishing one of the puzzles or crosswords in like no time flat. And then we see you get your breakfast. You pull up in your phone though, and there is a more pressing news. You can see that even now on live stream, one of the local beat reporters is filming as Greg Anderson prepares his boat for a voyage. You can see down in the harbor, the old grizzled fisherman, Greg, is, he's piling a pyramid of harpoons at the top. Something is certainly amiss. You see Hunt for Great Creature Begins on the top of the live stream, and the voice that you mute at first, in a public space, and then realize I can play this, is the beat reporter saying, and Greg's getting himself ready for an adventure. He plans to leave at dusk.
God, Maggie, have you heard anything about this? A creature?
Well, I certainly haven't, boys. And she looks back, and we see Marcus and the scrubs back there. Marcus, what do we see as we look through the window for a moment?
If I've gotten Juno's order, I'd be working on that, and I would take that out to her. Hey, Juno, good to see you again.
Hi, Marcus.
Marcus, have you seen anything about this beast in the bay that Greg's hunting?
I haven't seen it, but I went down to the docks earlier. They're saying it's some huge beast that scraped up the sides of his boat. I wouldn't have believed it, but there were these large scratch marks along the side of the boat. He saw something.
He saw
Someone-
something. Well, I guess that's your news, Juno. And she turns back to the kitchen. We hear her start to reprimand the other cooks who are back there goofing off. He's like, well, why is your crock in the fryer? And then the door shuts and the two of you are alone in the diner.
Doesn't sound something like that's staged, right?
I
Big with
doubt
claw
it.
marks.
You'd have to go through a whole lot of effort to scratch up the side of a boat like this. Does seem like something's going on, and he is ready to go out there and take a look at it. I'm getting out soon. You feel like checking this out?
Well, yeah, it sounds like a good story to write about.
I will wrap this up to go.
We see a moment pass as the two of you prepare yourselves to leave. Maggie nods you off. You're off shift, fully free to go about your day. And we see you and Juno. Juno, I'm not sure we had a chance to fully describe your character. As Marcus comes back round out and you're kind of like packing your bags, getting your last things to go, looking a little bit more refreshed, eating from the box. Can you describe your character for us?
Juno is a really sporty girl. Ripped jeans, kind of like a bomber jacket, boots on, and her hair's a little bit messy. She's, generally like not sleeping at good hours. She doesn't always keep herself tidy, so yeah, her hair is just all frizzled right now. I want to say she's been going on like a run, She's been writing really hard and not taking care of herself recently.
We see as Maggie waves the two of you off, we get the very first of our clue stickers. A place where we can find clues and a place where we can learn new things. We'll head to the clue table to see that the first of our landmarks is Maggie's Diner. An easy one to get for Marcus, but still a clue nonetheless. As we look at our clue table for the first time, let me explain. If you get all 4 of the landmarks, your characters will all have 1 point of experience, and there are 4 collectible cards to collect along the adventure as well. Our first one, and the one that we have on the paper already, is Greg Anderson. So we have 3 more to find and collect. I believe our other friends have also met Christina Williams, the biologist, come here to investigate. So 3 clues down, Let's see how many we can get. As the two of you begin to head down towards the docks, we see as you're making your way, the space is clear. The sky is turning that sort of dark blue that leads to dusk and twilight. And our searcher and our monstrous head down towards the docks. They've cleared. And there we can find Greg getting ready. He's almost done piling his boat. His boat has sunk somewhat down in the water, and we can see as Greg's looks over at the dock. He says, "Ah, some new recruits. Have you come to do some monster slaying this day?"
We've certainly come to take a look at what's going on.
Good, good. Come on board. I'll show you what we're getting ready to do. Hey.
Okay. I will hop over the side. I will offer a hand to Juno if she needs it.
Yeah, she takes his hand.
On the boat, you can see that Greg has prepared all number of troubling-looking things. He has multiple tanks of gasoline. He has harpoons stacked tall. He has jimmy-rigged some sort of ballista-like apparatus to the base of the back of his boat. He's kind of the crane that normally pulls and operates is still there, but at its end, he's attached the blades of a saw. As it goes, it swings back and forth dangerously, and we can see as Greg says, "Watch your head there. I'm trying to use that to crack the beast right open. I'll break its teeth if I have to."
Okay. Is there anything I can do to make sure this is at least secured for the moment so that this doesn't come loose on the way out?
Starting to help out, we see Marcus just sort of set about doing some basic work, like you're in the diner, like you're at any of your previous jobs, a skilled artisan of the work of busybody. We see Marcus begin to move about and tie things up. Go ahead and roll to act under pressure here. Low stakes,
Okay.
but they could come into play later.
Okay, this is cool. So I have a 1 there. And that brings me to an 8.
8. Excellent. A mixed success. In that case, you have a hard choice, a worse outcome, or a price to pay. I'll give you 2 choices here. You can tie it up for now, but it may or may not come untethered in a moment of tension later. It'll be safe, and you'll have your eye on it no matter what. Or you can tie it up permanently, but you'll nick your finger on the blades. It is a treacherous thing, and you'll take 1 harm, ignore armor.
Got you. We love a good story, so I will say it is temporarily tied down.
As you start to make your fastenings, festooning this thing, Juno, what about you? What do we see you do to prepare this ship? Assuming that you've come down here at least to try to be convinced by Greg to join this hunt.
I feel like she's snooping around, and I don't know. Is there anything she notices that's off? You know? Like
Definitely. Looking at the side of the boat, Juno, you can see that there are scrapes all along the side, up from the bottom, and then sort of like, it looks like something took a big bite and then sort of was dragged off. The teeth pulling chains of corrugated metal, pulled up by the jagged edges and sharp points. What do you want to do here? Roll to investigate a mystery?
Yeah. That's bad. That's a 4.
4. Well, let's introduce luck to our new player and to anyone out there who may not have played Monster of the Week before. You typically have 7 luck points that your character can accrue over the course of their adventures. Since this is a one-shot, I like to give my players 1 for the whole dang thing. You can use your luck to turn any roll into a 12, or to avoid damage from a blow. So it can be used to kind of save you from what could be a life-threatening injury later down the line. Juno, do you want to use it here?
Like, really hard for us to do something so early in the game, but what the heck, you know? Sure.
Wonderful. If you're going to use it to pull to a 12 here, then that gives you 2 questions on an investigate a mystery. What would you like to know?
Certainly what happened here.
Juno, you get the sense that Greg may believe that whatever this thing is a monster, but it is large. You can gather that something did attack his boat, something did cut his lines, and it's concerning to say that when you put your hand in comparison, if whatever this thing is took a chomp out of you, more than half of you would be gone. It's enormous. And as you look around in this space, looking for more clues, you can see something that Greg may have missed. On the gunwale, the outside of the boat, we can see a net of rope tied to the side. Maybe a way to protect someone from falling over, or a way to fasten the buoys to the front. Tied up inside of that is something strange. It's like a piece of something long and broken. It's almost this like pale yellow orange. It's about the size of your forearm, and it's a tube or a cylinder. You've never seen anything like it before. You have one more question.
I'm gonna hold that real quick, but she's waving down Greg, and she's like, "Greg, what is that?"
I've never seen anything like it before. Oh, it's enormous. Is this part of the creature?
Can we pull it closer? Maybe we could see?
He scrambles down off of the side and pulls it out in an instant. A monkey climbing along a very familiar tree. We see Greg. He shows no signs of slowing down in his age. And he pulls this thing from the top, hefts it up in his hands, and he says, I'm not sure what this thing is. I'll tell you, though, I'm concerned about it. If this is the size of whatever that creature may be, maybe this is one of its teeth. And he puts it up to his mouth like a walrus tusk.
Is this the good time to use Occam's broadsword?
Definitely. Can you read the move out for us?
When you first encounter something strange, you may ask the keeper what sort of thing it is. They will tell you if it or the cause is natural, an unnatural creature, a weird phenomenon, or a person. You gain +1 forward dealing with it.
You know, it is 2 of those. It is both a natural creature and an unnatural phenomenon. As you're looking at this, you start to gather that this is something that shouldn't be this size. The outside of it has almost these like pulling stretch marks. The stretch marks of a really quick weight gain, like somebody had put on 50 pounds, and suddenly there's just like the edges of it are a little bit differently colored. Whatever this thing was, it grew fast. And its growth is an unnatural phenomenon.
Well, just entertain me, just for 1 second, Greg. It's really big, so we don't think it's like, any normal creature, but have you seen anything like this before, but smaller?
Smaller? Well, I suppose if it's not to be a tusk, and he holds it up to his mouth one more time, and he's like, why, it could be a leg. And he puts it down into and compares it to the size of his femur. He's like, perhaps this could be the leg of an insect. Or, I'm not sure. I've not come into contact with something like this before. But if it is, I think we have a different idea of what the beast in the bay looks like than what it might actually be. And he looks up, and you can see that same dinosaur on the sign of the docks. Clearly, no indication of anything that's like this on it.
Well, I'd like to use my other hold then.
Bring it on.
What sort of creature is it?
Well, Juno has this sneaking suspicion. As you look around the docks, Greg doesn't want to recognize this because it is absolutely impossible to him. But his boat is littered with the detritus and scattered moltings of the lobsters he catches, prepares, and eats. You pick up a tiny little antenna, a flagell, they call them, a piece on the ground that is the antenna of the lobster, and you sense that one of those segments could very well fit to this enormous forearm-sized thing you've pulled from the front of the boat. Well done, Juno. Marcus, any last moves before we turn back to the others?
I would have come down to hear that part of the conversation. If Juno describes that, it was like, that's more melted butter than we have.
Oh, are you sure Maggie can't just order more?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem healthy. You know what? Let's put a pin in this.
We turn from the two of you as the dock splashes, the water beginning to turn as tide comes through and lifts the boats in the harbor up towards the wooden docks that moor them. We turn and up the hill. There, we can see Christina walking along with Morgan and Jinx. We can see Cluedo beside them, sniffing as he goes. And we can see, as you get a little bit closer, she's talking along the way. You take the beach route towards the docks, and she's stepping along. She, her paperwork in her hands. She kind of moves over to a rock and says, like, this creature is endemic to the area, and points out like a set of barnacles crusting over the edge of a tide pool. She looks back at the two of you and says, "If this is a monster, I would like to be on the ship that hunts it. Do either of you know Greg Anderson?"
Captain Anderson, yes, I do. He's lived around here for a very long time. I also grabbed one of my books regarding creatures and monsters and various things that you would find in various types of water, just in case that will help. Although I think you would be best for maybe the normal ones as opposed to, say, a sea monster creature.
Well, you've brought some good books along the way. Excellent. Is your pup, can he help us find trails of this creature should it have come to land?
Oh, yes. Cluedo is a nosework champion, and I turn to Cluedo and say, "Cluedo, search." And you see the Great Dane lower his nose to the ground and begin sniffing.
As you start, we see as you're making your way along the beach, Cluedo sniffs and sniffs, and we kind of watch him as he sort of like picks up his nose, like he's caught scent of something, and then he scurries over and through, and we see as he ends up with his nose on a man's shoes. We can see a young man, maybe in his late 20s, a coif, pompadour, light brown hair, a kind of a smarmy look on his face, a pair of horn-rimmed glasses, and he is standing beside a small development, a beach house going up on the stony, rocky soil just up the road from where you're walking. We see Cluedo sniff up into his hands, and this man says, "Oh, get this foul animal away from me. Whose dog is this? Why is it off the leash?"
Cluedo, come. And he should be racing back towards Jinx.
No problem. He races immediately back, and we see as this man says, "I'll have that dog muzzled. Put that creature on a leash before I call the police."
That dog, sir. You're new to this area. This dog is more welcome than you are.
Oh, am I new to this area? Morgan Sinclair, I know your family just as well as you should know mine. And you realize that you haven't seen this man in some 15 years. He went away to a boarding school and never came back after he went to college, but for just a moment you recognize in and past his man face the boy that you once knew. This is little Peter Murphy. This is little Pete. And you probably knew him as a snot-nosed kid in middle school.
Oh, I do recognize you, Pete. Never liked you then. Probably won't like you now.
Well, the feeling is mutual, especially if you patronize or if fraternize with dog people. Everyone knows cats are the superior animal.
Well, I do love a cat. In fact, I have two. Not the point, though. So, what's going on here, Pete? Can I open my sight as well to see if there's anything in the area?
Great call. Go ahead and read that move for us. What is it? What do you do when you open your sight?
Okay, the sight. You can see the invisible, especially spirits and magical influence. You may communicate with, maybe even make deals with the spirits you can see, and you have more opportunities to spot clues when you investigate a mystery.
Wonderful. What do we see when you open it? I know that it has some physical. Is it a flash over the eyes in the cartoon world? How does it manifest, Danae?
It is a flash of light in her eyes that almost looks starlight, and then it opens the pupils up.
Pupils wide. We see as you look at Pete, assuming you need to be investigating him, go ahead and roll and investigate a mystery here to see what he's doing and what's happening.
That's 8 plus 1 is 9.
9. A 9 will get you one question, unless Jinx would like to try to help out.
Yeah, I'll give you the help action.
All right, Jinx, go ahead and roll plus cool. Will you tell the viewers what your cool is, Kay?
Cool is 0. I don't know if that's helpful for me. Maybe someone else should give you the help.
Oh, no, you're the only one here. It's a good idea. Give it a roll. No worries. A hard move just moves the story and gets you a little closer to doing something cool that you can't do yet.
And for our newbies, again, is it the same 2d6 the whole time?
Always. Yeah. The only time we're ever going to change the 2d6 we roll with Monster of the Week is if for some good reason you get an advantage or a disadvantage on the roll, in which case you'd roll 3d6.
Gotcha. Sorry, it's only a 4.
4 won't bring your questions up. So, Danae, if you don't mind thinking about the one question you'd like to ask. Sorry, did you have a question?
Actually, yes. Now, the +1 forward I get from my Mystic Library, would I be able to add that? That would give me a 10.
What I'll say is, if you're bringing books with you, you won't be able to use it all the time, so you probably have a limited amount of them. I would typically go 2 or 3. If you want to give her a +1, or give yourself a +1 with your Mystic Library here, it'll expend the use of a book. Would you like to do that for 2 questions instead of 1?
No, I'll wait.
I think it's a good time if you want to do it. We're nearing halfway in.
There's one. Okay. There's
a 10. A hard move and a perfect success. Danae, what 2 questions would you like to ask?
What is being concealed here?
With your sight, you can see that Peter Murphy does seem to have an aura about him. He has a heat, a glow that seems to be coming off of the spots on his shoes and on the back of his clipboard specifically, like he's walked through an area of magic or spirits, and he collected that clipboard from an area of magic or spirits. You're not sure exactly what the source is, but those 2 things on him are glowing. And as you follow the tracks up the way, you can see that the glowing footsteps behind him lead away from the docks and the lighthouse. He was doing something over by there. You may be able to investigate on your way to the ship.
Okay. I'll hold my... Can I hold my second one?
You sure can.
Okay.
You'll want to use it on the beach or in the next scene at the latest. We see as Pete, from my hard move, steps towards you and says, "You better not be headed for those docks. The ship is going to get shut down any second. I've just gotten off the phone with the sheriff, and we're going to be shutting this operation down. There will be no hunting monsters in my bay." As the new harbor master, it is my bay. And he puts his fingers back in his pockets and laughs.
Can Jinx take a move?
Please tell us which move you'd like to take.
Can I do the tell me the truth again?
You sure may. You sure may. Tell me the truth. We've read before, but the first half of them is when you're questioning somebody to investigate a mystery, add these questions to the list. Sounds like you want to go ahead and roll plus sharp here.
I have 5 plus 2, so it's only a 7.
A 7 still gets you one question, and it is not a fail. You'll get to know one. You may ask them from your list as well. Start the interrogation. If these are questions that come as you are questioning somebody, what do you say to Pete here?
Okay, so just so I know, because I'm going to jump into roleplay here, but can I ask, how do I differentiate that this is the one question I'm asking versus this entire monologue kind of thing?
Great question. I think that for me, you can probably get some information from him just by speaking. And then once you get to a point where you're not sure he'll tell you the truth, you can ask, or you can try to form it with an out-of-character question.
Gotcha. Okay, Pete, it seems like you're a newcomer to this area. When did you become the harbor master?
Well, I'm new to my position, I'll admit, but my experience as at my fraternity prepared me for the responsibilities and opportunities gifted to me by my long and storied history with the town. You see, I got this by merit alone. You should see my resume. I've been to a lot of fun conferences.
And what do you know about
Like a very-
sailing?
Oh, I don't know anything about sailing, but I know a lot about business. And what's a dock but a business on water?
Say, Pete, you seem like a very polished individual. Why are you a harbor master? I would think someone such as yourself would be off in a city somewhere running a major company.
Perfect. And he says, "Oh, well, my father requested specifically that I take this job, and instead of running the family business, I'm to cut my to wet my to sharpen my stone to prepare myself for running it by running something else first."
Sense. So what are your plans for the area? It looks like we're under construction or something around. Is this still going to be the same dock or is something different?
He unrolls a big plan in front of him, and you can see that there are enormous condominium facilities, a beach house, a center for entertainment, and a venue for music. Christina Williams looks shocked. Standing at the back here, we watch as her eyes open wide, and she says, "The damage that'll do to the ecosystem. Have you done the ecological reports?" And Pete just looks at her disdainfully. He says, "Well, we've got all the reports we need to file the petition with the city, and soon this whole beach will be a better tourist attraction than it is now."
Well, Pete, let me let you know that as a Sinclair and descendant of Ezra Miller, I will be fighting this the whole way. And I do have a tad bit more money than you do. But we have other things to investigate, don't you think? And
Good. You get on your way. I don't need you and your dog anywhere near. Yes, get it out of here as soon as possible, please.
Can
And he wipes
I-
his nose.
can I telekinetically just shove him, like as we're walking by, but not touch him, just so he doesn't know it's me? But kind of
Oh
trip him
yeah,
up.
give him a quick shove. No roll needed. We see Pete Murphy stumbles as he turns around to the three of you walking away. Four. We can't forget Cluedo, and we see as he looks at you with daggers in his eyes. "Well, good luck over there. The sheriff should be shutting down the old any second, and I can't wait to get that old eyesore out of my harbor." His words die in the mist as you walk through the beach towards the docks. Christina looks at the two of you as she does, and she says, I hate that man. If he does what he's going to do, it's going to ruin the ecological diversity of this coastline, a sacred treasure to our peoples.
Don't fret yet. We'll stop him from destroying the town and the ecosystem. I have plenty of friends in this town for now, and I get the feeling, knowing Pete, he's up to something. And I also saw something on his shoes. I can still see it.
Yeah, Cluto was really interested in his shoes. Cluto's actually been trained to help me look out for the occult and supernatural. So he actually only searches for things out of the ordinary, and he was very interested in that man's shoes.
Well,
He sure was. As we're heading down the beach, Danae, you can follow those tracks all the way down. Your sight keeping you on them. We watch as the two of you. You can see that the shoes seem to come from the docks, and they seem to, as you're heading that way, they go past them and towards the lighthouse. Whatever he was doing in the stones, the cliff sides below where the lighthouse stands on the precipice of the Atlantic. However, you can also see that the boat is getting ready to leave. Greg Anderson is pulling the ropes up. He's looking at the line cook and the redhead in his boat right now, like, you got to pull on those ropes, people. Haul. I need to see some elbow grease. And you can see that he's readying himself to leave. Christina Williams looks at the two of you like, I have to be on that boat. And she starts to run that way.
do you want to join them on the boat, or do you want to search down by the lighthouse more? Jinx. That
feel
would be
like-
dangerous for them.
Should we talk to the people on the boat? Because it looks like they're about to
Okay.
leave. So that might be time sensitive.
Yes, let's do that. And I'm gonna raise my hand and just yell, Captain, don't leave without us.
I see we've got more folks here ready to ride to the tides. Be ye adventurers seeking glory?
Just smiles.
We're meddling kids seeking answers.
Even better. I haven't an adventurer on the boat yet. I think this one here makes a mean pot of coffee, though. And this one over here found this crazy walrus tusk. I'm not sure what it is, but we're certain it's related. We're ready to cast off. Are you coming aboard? And Christina's already on the boat. She shakes hands with the captain. He looks absolutely bewildered as she says, yes, please, thank you. And just starts to, unpack things from her bags.
Can I see the same magic around whatever they're holding?
Greg does not have the same magic on his boat or anywhere. You do see as you're looking that those steps, that Peter's steps went past the boats. The dock connects to the land at a couple of points, and it looks like he was walking from the lighthouse with his shoes. You can go there on foot if you'd like to go alone, or you can try to convince the captain to head there first. How do you want to try to go about that?
Captain, I think that part of our answer may lie closer to the lighthouse. Is it possible we can go by there and then head out to get more information so we know how to fight this terrible beast?
I'm going to need to manipulate someone here, Danae, so go ahead and roll plus charm.
Ask for that.
And what is
plus
Danae's charm? Or what is Morgan's charm?
+1.
Hey, not bad.
That's a 9.
A 9.
8
Does
plus
anyone want to
1.
try to help her out? Our hunters have all come together at last, doing various things around the boat. Vignettes incoming for certain. Who'd like to try to roll plus cool to help out?
Jinx is so uncool. Can somebody else help?
I think I'll roll.
Give those dice a spin, Juno.
Got an 8, but does my forward come into play with this, or?
Typically, yes. It would be on the very next roll that you do, but I don't know if I would consider this to be directly related to the information you learned, so you can hold it for a better roll later. An 8 still, or a 7 still helps here. You'll get a mixed success, which means that you expose yourself to trouble or danger, but you give the +1 to the roll. That 10 means that Greg just nods. He says, "Aye, the lighthouse is a great place to start. If the creature hides in the caves beneath the cliffs, we'll root it out and slay it." And he picks up a harpoon and hefts it in his hands. He looks wide-eyed and terrible.
Captain, may I make a suggestion?
Well, I suppose I'm open to thoughts.
Well, maybe we don't slay it right away, and we see exactly what it is, and then slay it.
Well, I'm not sure I like that. And Christina comes up and puts a hand on your shoulder, and she says, that's a great idea. I think, what if this is a new species of creature? The seas are warming, the giant squid is moving. There's always a chance that something has come up from the deep that needs to be studied before it is slain. Think of the blobfish, Captain Anderson. When it comes to the surface, it looks nothing like what it looks like in its natural terrain. We must know what this creature is before we throw harpoons.
And maybe if it's a new creature, we can name it after you, Captain.
Ah, yes. Whatever its kingdom might be, Gregius. I like the sounds of that.
A very noble name.
I'm betting it's a squid or octopus. I know if it's a giant squid, what should we name it? And we see as Christina, she says, well, I'm not sure we would know. There's a couple of kingdoms in there. Don't worry about it, Greg. I think it's time we cast off. And the captain looks and he says, of course. Why, I wouldn't have it any other way. Let's go, mateys. Prepare yourselves. Let's give a quick vignette for each hunter as the boat takes underway. What are we doing? Let's start on the right. Marcus, what do we see our monstrous doing as the ship takes off?
Well, so I'm not sure how everyone gets on the boat. My main priority is making sure that that Cluedo gets on safely. So that's key. As soon as the dog is secured, I guess I would help with any of the other lines that needed to be released so that we could go off safely, and just I suppose shadow the captain to see if there's any other way that I could help out.
A stage, a ship stage. We see as Marcus moves in the captain's wake, tightening and pulling, yanking, and just sort of settling things down. There's a couple of occasions where you aren't sure exactly why you're doing what you're doing, but the captain nods his approval. Morgan, what about for our spooky? What is she doing as the ship gets underway?
Morgan is going to take to the bow of the ship as much as she can, or inside to the front, so that she can watch using her sight to see where that trail leads.
Seeing your keen eyes on the horizon, looking to the coast to follow along as you begin to make your way, plodding forwards, I think for our right two characters, an act under pressure for Marcus and an investigate a mystery for Morgan. Jinx, what do we see of our meddling kid and her companion?
I think Cluedo is just sniffing the air and walking around the perimeter of the boat to try and sniff out where any monsters might be in the harbor. And Jinx is just kind of following along after him, also scanning the horizon while trying to walk and read at the same time, flipping through her book from Morgan's shop.
Perfect. We see Cluedo keeping a keen nose out. Why don't we go for an investigate a mystery for you as well? And then what about for Juno?
I think Juno is staring out towards the water and just sketching what like this giant lobster in her mind might look like.
Something that you share with your team, or something that they may see over your shoulder?
I think she'd share it.
In that case, we see as sort of the captain comes over and just sort of like balks. He's like, you think that's what it is? There's no way. I mean, lobsters, there's no, they can't get that big.
Never say
Captain,
never.
Captain, when you came back, did you have a catch with you?
Well, my lines had all been cut. The cages still sink to the bottom when they're gone, and the buoys that they're attached to floated free. It took me the better part of half an hour to gather them all, and I'm sure I've marked the places on my GPS, but I haven't yet gone back with a hook. And he gestures to his GPS screen. You see on there the exact pinpoint spots that he has. He went to go take his last hooks up, and his catch was taken. He's marked it with a red X. It's as clear as the eye can see. But as you're heading along the coastline towards the lighthouse, you're going in the opposite direction. The catch spot would be out in the deep waters, heading east from the bay. Let's remedy our rolls. Marcus, what did you get?
That was act under pressure, I believe you said, right?
Exactly, plus cool.
Okay. So that is sadly a 5.
5 is a failure. I will take a hard move here. I'm going to hold that for now. Let's get through all our vignettes. First, describe some silly failure, some silly cartoon failure for Marcus.
What was I doing? Working on the lines. I'd say I failed to secure something, and as we go underway, some loop will get pulled up and tie around my ankle, so I will be pulled into the air, suspended by my ankle for a moment until I can get myself down.
Whoa! We see Marcus is yanked off of his feet, pulled up into the air, and is balancing with one hand on the mast as he swings from place to place, trying his best not to get clobbered by any of the hanging things. The captain pulls you down. Go ahead, Jinx.
I was just going to say, I think Cluedo would race over to try and catch him and pull him down.
The dog in the rope in mouth, we see as he grabs the right rope. That's the craziest part, is Cluedo comes over and grabs the exact right rope. Your leg comes down as the dog lets loose through the teeth. Such a clever move, Marcus. As you make your way, he sort of gives you a big sniff, and for just a moment kind of looks up into your eyes. Jinx, Cluedo knows Marcus's transformation. What does our dog do?
See, Cluedo's not actually... He's trying to sniff out the mysteries, but he doesn't, he's not aggressive towards them. It's a game. He finds them, and then he gets Cluedo snacks from Jinx. So he does kind of just a pointer thing of, looks at Jinx, looks at Marcus, and, very obviously is pointing with his nose towards him, look, I found the thing.
Oh, that's good. That's good. We see as Cluedo goes to set him down, he points, and we can see as Marcus, you're caught, right? You look across at Jinx, you make eye contact. Jinx, you rolled an investigate a mystery. What did you get?
12.
A 12. Woo-hoo! In one shot, we use all of the enhanced moves here. So you're going to get 2 questions, but one of those questions can be any question you'd like. It doesn't have to be off of the list. The other one does. So that's usually where I like to start if I'm going to ask them. What would you like to know, Jinx? And you can ask them about the creature or Marcus here.
What sort of creature is it? So I can say to Marcus, what sort of creature are you?
What sort of creature? So first of all, after being helped down, I just am petting his face. You are the goodest boy. Creature? I don't know. I'm just gonna go. over here because something needs to be checked out. As I do, you will see that there is a yellowish glow to my irises that you might not have noticed before. Um, and as I make up excuses, you'll see that my incisors are a little longer than you might expect.
I think Jinx turns to Cluedo and goes, "Good boy," and flips him a Cluedo snack and says, "Well, we like dogs, or we like canines, don't we, Cluedo?" And then just walks the other way.
Wow, love it. A good interaction. You have one more question, and it can be any question you'd like, Jinx, as you go to sort of lean against the edge of the boat, looking out towards the lighthouse. You can see that there's cliffs and caves, seabirds nesting, the squawk of a gull that goes by and sweeps the deck looking for scattered fish. We can smell the Atlantic off of the waves, the wind coming in from the east, sweeping across you. For now, it looks like all is well. But you get to know and spot something that the others don't. What do you want to know?
I think I'm just muttering to myself, what is being concealed here? Where is the mystery?
With my hard move, we see as you are the first to spot it. A looming shadow beneath the surface. It moves across and through underneath the bow of the ship. We can see as just as we're coming around the corner, the Havens Mill lighthouse in our sights. Greg goes to point it out. He says, "All right, if it's going to be in the caves anywhere, it's going to be..." And then, Jinx, you see as this thing's wake shakes the whole boat. That shadow beneath the surface is heading in towards the lighthouse, and it seems to disappear at the foot of the caves, as if there is more beneath the surface here. The creature is hiding there.
Captain, I've spotted it. Make way towards the caves.
Morgan, you rolled to investigate a mystery as well. What did you get?
Failed.
Fail. In that case, I'm going to take my second hard move here as Jinx, the captain, goes to turn the boat towards it, and we hear a splash. And we look over in the direction of it, and well, first off, you can see as the shadow looms below the ship, what just it looks to be the size of another boat or a submarine down below. And then with my second hard move here, we watch as from the surface, a claw breaks the tension. The waves shatter across. It comes out, and as if a whale is breaching, it goes to slam down on top of the ship, and that's where we're going to take our break. Now, we're a little early to the break today, so we're gonna go ahead and take this moment to top off our breakfast cereals, get a fresh pot of coffee brewing, use the bathroom if we have to. But for my players, we'll be back in just a few minutes to chat before we come back to stream. For our viewers, thank you for watching. We'll see you in just a few. All right.
again.
Testing. I'm testing my sound.
Yeah,
Is that-
sounds great.
Is that better? That's the Yeti mic. It's not actually coming through the the input device. Let's see. Yeah, it's coming through the Yeti. Let me check. If I mute this, is the sound good though? Check. I'm checking my sound. Okay. How does it sound when fucking Nando's yowling at us? Okay. This is fine. We're doing fine. I got the Yeah, he's just a well-trained dog. Yeah, that's all there is to it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Saturday Morning Cartoons. We're in the throes of a maritime mystery. Our hunters have made their way onto the boat, the her old, as the owner calls it, the old, as it is colloquially known. They found so far a few people. On their boat with them is Christina Williams, the doctor, biologist from the local college, here to investigate what's happening, and Greg Anderson, pilot and captain of this boat, a crazy old fisherman. Hunters, we are in the throes of something, as just before the break, our creature emerged, looking nothing like any of the depictions you've seen. You see this claw lumber up like a whale breaching and come down towards the ship. What do you want to do?
Could I use my crypto sighting?
You certainly should. Yeah, right away, start off with a question. Go ahead and read that move out for us.
You take note of any reports of strange creatures. Whenever you first see a new type of creature, you may immediately ask one of the investigative mystery questions.
One question for free. That'll cross some off of the other investigators' lists. What would you like to know?
What can hurt it?
A great start. You can certainly tell that the pile of harpoons on the boat right now is your best bet. There's nothing else on here that you have at hand, but there is this enormous harpoon gun mounted right by and behind the crane. You've got an angle if you want to go try to mount it.
Yeah, she'll grab a harpoon.
Figure this out. We see as you run that way, one harpoon in hands. What about Jinx?
Oh, that's not good.
No.
Jinx is not a fighter, so I think she's just trying to find a safe corner from which to observe the creature in the battle.
Goodness, safe is tough to find on this boat right now. But I do think an act under pressure is your best bet at finding it. Go ahead and give me a roll plus cool. I'm going to give you guys a song that I can't play on the stream because this is one of my favorite battle songs, but I can't find it on Epidemic, so we're going to listen to this banger, and the stream's going to have to wonder what it is, okay? Just a heads up. What did you get, Jinx, for your act under pressure?
An 8.
An 8. An 8 is a mixed success. What I'll say is this. You can find cover now, but as the boat's going to take a pretty big blow from this claw, you'll take 1 harm from the shrapnel. The wood will explode. So we can see the shrapnel hitting you, or you can get away clean, but you're going to leave something important to you behind. It could be the dog, it could be your books, it could be your weapon. But you'll leave it behind and won't be able to use it until you get it back.
I'll take the harm.
Cool. Marcus?
I was going to say if I can, my first priority was to make sure it didn't look like this claw was going to come down on anyone. If it wasn't, my first instinct was going to be to protect Jinx. Is there any way that I can help out and perhaps prevent her from getting any harm here?
I think you can try to protect someone here. It's going to be a pretty serious consequence with a bad roll, but give it a try, Marcus. I believe that's plus tough.
It is. First of all, I tried. I respect. I respect
we won't
you
hold
so
it
much.
against you.
I respect you so much. So to protect someone, that's a 0, and I rolled a 5.
A 5. A 5 is going to be tough.
Immediate leveling.
Aaron.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Testing.
I can't hear you if you're talking, Aaron.
Testing now? Is it testing now?
I want to try to throw up a barrier to block the claw, or try to use telekinesis to shove it back.
Testing now.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes,
we can hear you
now.
Wonderful. How's the audio? Is it terrible?
I can hear you
Sounds
fine.
okay to me.
All right. I think that the combination of Marcus and the push, if you're going to try to give it a telekinetic shove, that claw's coming down hard. Marcus, this may be the luck time. What do you want to do here?
So two things, because I love a story. Let me know the level of retcon that you are willing to go with for this. This would be my 5th experience, and legit, even before this, what I was planning to take, conveniently, is the prepare to defend from the. I blanked on the playbook it comes from. But what will happen is with this one is. Well, whenever I suffer harm or from kick some ass or protect someone, I suffer one harm less. So I don't know if you would take the immediate leveling and its immediate usage or not.
I think that we can count that this is going to happen in some way, no matter what. It's going to smash down on the boat. You're going to catch it or protect it as best you can. But what we see is that you're going to, in the middle of that crashing, kind of, I would say, catch the claw. It's going to have to happen this way, one way or the other. You'll prevent some damage to the boat. Will you describe how you'd like to use this move, Kevin?
Sure. So, like I said, the first thing as soon as I saw this thing break the water, I'm kind of looking to see what might be in its path, and I see that it doesn't look like Jinx is going to clear it. So I try running full tilt towards this thing. I jump in front of her, and possibly for the first time, Jinx, you see me get larger. So I sort of fill out this loose hoodie. I would say the hood drops, and you sort of see that the back of my head suddenly becomes covered with this brown fur, and you see large clawed, furred hands as I grasp this claw and try my best to keep it from slamming down on you.
Well, that's one mystery solved.
Morgan, you said you wanted to try to push this claw with a telekinetic shove. I think that can too help prevent some of the damage to the bowl.
You're sounding kind of crackly.
Shoot. 1 second here. Hold on. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And we're going to fix this. Kenny, testing this mic. It's too hot. Is this good? Okay. Back into the action. All right. We're off technical difficulties. Thanks for bearing with us. Guys, we are going to give this a telekinetic shove as a last-ditch effort to keep it from crashing through the boat. Morgan, I think we need a weird roll here.
Okay, and I'm going to throw big whammy on it.
Big whammy. Will
So
you read it
that's
out for
9.
us? First time you're using it today?
Sure. Yep. Okay. The big whammy. You can use your powers to kick some ass. Roll plus weird instead of plus tough. Your attack has 2 harm, close, obvious, ignore, armor. On a miss, you'll get a magical backlash. But I rolled a 9 plus 3, 12. Right? My math went wonky there. Yeah, 12.
12 is sick. You're going to absolutely force this thing to either divert, or you're going to catch it and take some of the damage here, but you're going to, it's going to be much better. The question is, do you want it to sort of hit the side of the boat with a side shove, or do you want it to hit the top with a light slamming? I know,
Well,
not
one of
an
my
ideal
options
choice.
for telekinesis is something is held fast.
Something is held fast. You can stop it. It's gonna be a really big roll here, and your 12 absolutely does it. This thing comes down, and you catch it just at the last second. It's taken the radio array off the top. It's taken the hood and the emergency floaties off of the top of the ship as well. And we can see as those things crunched and crammed have fallen into the water. But the rest of the boat is whole. It's still drivable, and the captain guns the engine. We see as he pulls off and away. He says, "We're gonna need a bigger boat." And Christina says, "What was that thing? I've never seen a lobster get so loud."
Do
We
either
need
of
to
us
get to
take
that cave.
harm?
Oh, I will take.
Yeah, Morgan is going to take 1 harm from using her move here. Marcus is going to
Okay.
take 1 as it was going to go to Jinx from her her thing. But I think that the rest is diverted. As Morgan's power held this thing fast enough for you to get away, it does clip the boat a little. The whole thing tilts to the side, but you're okay for now.
On a 10 plus, I get to choose 2. So the other one I'll do is you suffer 1 less harm.
You will not take a harm. It is a getaway made clean, but the shadow follows you nonetheless. As the 4 of you look at the back of the boat, Juno has armed a harpoon. We see as she stands at the back, this thing is moving along towards and behind you. You can see as just beneath the surface, it lurks. Juno, what do you want to do? Are you going to try to get a shot off?
I mean, before she does that, she turns to everyone and she's like, "Okay, someone's up to this because I don't know if you guys know this, but it's on the shell. You can see stretch marks. It's someone made it bigger."
We need to get to that cave because I think Pete's behind this. He had, when I used my sight, he had the magic around his feet. I think he's using this or using something he shouldn't be. Of course, could be because I just don't like him.
Or it could be his father. He said that his father gave him this position and insisted that he manage the dock. So it could be a family plot.
Aaron, would I know whether his family, other than Pete, are good people or...
I think that what's important for you here is that you know that the Murphys have long been kind of like the troublemakers in town. They're filthy rich, just like your family, a long heritage of troubling decisions and financial businesses that are just kind of not always good for the town. If his father is involved in this, you're not far off. You think there's a good chance he's in on the plot. Pete himself, whether he is or not, was certainly trying to get in your way. You managed to get away before the sheriff got there, but he's certain to be waiting at the docks when you get back, right? So Pete is a villain too. What do you say?
Can I call the sheriff really quick?
We see you give him a ring. You certainly got either the station's number or his own. Which do you call?
His own, just in case he's at the dock waiting for us.
The sheriff answers Dana Collins on the phone. We see as he cuts into the screen drunk history style. Hey, Morgan, are you on that ship that just got away in the harbor? I think Pete Murphy's put out a hit on you or something.
Pete Murphy can shove it. Anyway, question. I need you to keep him busy. There is something in these waters that's very dangerous, and you know very well, Captain, or Sheriff, you can trust me.
Go ahead and roll to manipulate someone here. He says, that's going to be plus charm. He says, well, I mean, you're always at the thick of all this nonsense, and I found that, seems to be true this time, too. What do I have for assurances?
Okay, that was a 9. Sheriff, he is trying to destroy our town, and I just saw this creature. It's like a giant crab-like creature, and he had magic on his feet that led to the caves. We're heading there now. They're up to something, which is why they bought the docks.
We need to address the fact that as the boat is moving, as Morgan ducks into the cabin beside the captain at the helm to make this call, outside we can see as Juno holds on the precipice of a shot, watching the shadow move behind them, coming after their boat. We can see as Jinx and Cluedo and Marcus in his werewolf form. Marcus, you could heft one of those harpoons just as easily. But Christina looks at the three of you and says, I'm not sure we should kill it. Maybe we need to get out of the water. This is a lobster boat. What if it's out for revenge? She says to the three of you sensible hunters. What do you say back?
I'd say the first thing I would have done after I caught the thing in the shield blocks it. I would have shifted back, tried to make sure that Kay is okay. I'll grab one of the harpoons, just like, we'll do what we can, but this thing looks like it's out to take us down.
Well, if we name it after Greg, it'll be an embarrassment. I think that we have to name it properly, and there's no other name that it can be. It has to be. And she's gonna put out the clue table here. Homarus Giganticus. And we see as it breaches behind the boat. Juno, this thing is absolutely coming, claws forward to try to attack your ship. What are you gonna do here?
I think she has to take a shot. You know?
I'm going to go with a kick some ass, unless you'd like for an act under pressure. Which would you think you'd do?
I feel like Juno would probably act under pressure.
Spin those bones.
That is 7 plus 1 forward, I think. 8.
An 8 is a mixed success. You and whatever you're fighting are going to inflict harm on each other. What is the highest weapon possible on your sheet? If you were to look at all of the weapons there, what's the one that does the most damage?
I think that would be a small handgun. Plus 2 harm.
A small handgun probably won't do it. We're going to have to kick it up a notch. So I think that this does 3. As it goes to fire, you watch as the lobster claw grabs the back of the boat. You bet it in the meat of this as it goes, and it still sort of like slows the boat down. And then you watch as it painfully spasms and lets you free. The captain looks over at Jinx and the rest in the back and says, "We can head for deep waters. This thing won't be able to chase us into the deep. or we can head for the docks. And we look over at the docks and can see that the wooden boards of all of the places where you'd moor the ship are filled with people. The sheriff is there, everyone's there. This lobster could destroy that whole dock. What do we do?
We can't go to the dock. We can't go to the dock.
Should we head towards the caves? Should we try to like trap it in the cave or something?
Would it be possible for Morgan to try to use her telekinesis to push the ship faster?
That's a pretty big move. I'd call it a big magic instead. I'd say if you want to try to push the ship faster, you're going to have to ask your crewmates to help you find a way to do it. You won't be able to do it alone.
Does anybody... Okay.
Is there anything I can do in the at the to increase the speed with the engines, and anything I can figure out to kind of help this go faster? Head in. Can I help out that way?
There's a barrel full of gasoline on the back. You can certainly try to do some antics with the engine to get this thing really moving. What do you want to do?
I'll tell you what. If I can't, I can't any way that I could help this boat go faster. Maybe I could slow this thing down. If there is a large thing of gasoline, then I can try and do a partial transformation, tear like the barrel, and try and lob that overboard to try and slow the lobster down.
I
Donkey
can try
Kong
pushing
style.
the lobster with my telekinesis while you're doing that.
Donkey Kong style, barrels in, and we see a little bit of a force push beside. Jinx, what do you want to do? I want to know what everyone's doing in this moment to make sure we get the order of operations right. Our meddling kid and her dog, what are you up to?
I think we'd maybe try to help Marcus with the engine. Because I think her skill set is more going to be trying to figure out how things work rather than actual monster fighting at this point.
To try to help out and see if we can find some way to go. Go ahead and think a cool, perhaps. And then, Juno, as you're going to need to reload that thing if you're going to fire it again, what do you want to do?
I think she's grabbing another harpoon and just firing indiscriminately. I really hope that this is going to stop it.
I think that it's easy enough to see as you heft another one into place, the apparatus clicks, that it's going to take you probably about the time it takes for the others to get this engine moving, and you're going to want to readjust anyway. So let's see how that flame goes. Marcus, go ahead and roll to act under pressure for me.
It's act under pressure. Okay.
Oh, you want to go with tough with a kick some ass instead?
Well, I was going to say what fits. If I'm sort of trying to just sort of lob it at the creature to slow it down, arguably kick some ass, but I'll go with whatever you're ruling it.
I think that the way we roll this is a kick some ass if you're trying to clobber this thing good, or an act under pressure if you're trying to kind of get it back from the boat, to give you some space to go towards the cliffs.
That's fair. I really don't want to kill this thing if I don't have to, so I'd say I'm giving it to back off. So that's my cool. That's a +1. I rolled a 9, so that's a 10.
We see a perfect success as the barrel comes down out of your hands like a Donkey Kong style. I think Jinx is trying to use a barrel beside you to help with the engine. You see as she goes to try to put something together to get you guys even faster. Jinx, describe a little bit of your cartoon antics. How do you start with the engine? Marcus coming to your aid.
Well, Jinx is trying to remember anything that she might know about machinery and realizes that she is not handy in any way, shape, or form. So she's looking around to see, can she help with barrels or things like that. But I rolled a 5, so Jinx goes to pick up the barrel and immediately slips on the fluid, which is leaking from the barrels, and falls down.
Whoa!
Hits her head on with the barrel on top of her.
We see Cluedo As he jumps across the deck, he comes to your side and puts his head underneath you and then sort of lifts you to sitting. And as he does, we watch him sort of tip one of those barrels towards the engine. It holds in place, and the little vial, the little nozzle that sticks out of it starts to sort of slosh with a little bit of gas. Marcus, you look down and see that this could very well be put into the engine. You can see something in here. It's cartoon, guys. How do you crank it up? Morgan, give us a quick shove. I think that's certainly next here. If you're going to give this guy a shove down, telekinesis is plus weird.
Okay, so I rolled an 8, 9, 10, 11.
11.
I want to.
You get to pick 2. Yep. So you'll take 1 harm and less, and you'll get to do what you wanted to do, set out to do here, and you pick 2 additional benefits. It's large, so that's going to have to be one of them.
That's fine. And then the other one is a hold it fast.
Perfect. A flawless getaway. Juno, do you want to take a parting shot? Or do you want to leave this thing loaded as you get away?
Yeah, let's take the parting shot.
Roll to kick some ass for me.
Oh, no.
I think that's a 6.
A 6 is not going to do it, but we've come full circle round. Somebody can try to help out if you'd like, or we can let that rest and move on to the next scene.
I'm okay with that resting.
Take that experience, Juno. It goes wide and into the drink. We see that my hard move is Captain Greg veers off into the deep water. We can see as he's looking out at the cliffs, he says, "I'll not go where that creature wants us to be." And he pulls out into this, "I want it to come to me." And we can see, as we come into the deep water, that you can still see the caves and the space that he's looking at, but you'll have to convince him to go in. His boat is his livelihood, and he doesn't want to lose it. Christina looks at the lot of you and says, "Well, we didn't kill it. That's good. How are you all feeling? Is everyone okay?"
Captain, in order to find out what's going on, we need to go inside there.
"I won't take my baby. You don't know the truth. I've had this for such a long time. I wouldn't know what to do without it." And we'll turn to the clue table for a secret clue as he pulls out a portrait of himself. He says, "I've had this boat for nigh on 40 years. This was my wife Theresa's favorite place to be. I miss her so." And we see Greg say, "I can't lose it." But roll to manipulate someone here, Morgan. You may very well be able to convince him otherwise.
Oh, heck no. That's a fail.
He says, "I'll take you back to the docks."
That's a 5.
"Listen, I'll take you back to the docks. We'll get this thing settled, but I'll not have my boat destroyed by this creature."
Could you just drop us off at the caves?
Jinx, he thinks about it. He says, "I could drop you off near the shoreline, somewhere far distant, but I know not how far the creature is calling its territory. I want to be careful." If you want him to drop you off closer, you can roll to manipulate someone here. That'll be plus charm.
Can I say something along the lines of, well, we're not... clearly, if the creature attacked your boat while it was docked, then the dock isn't
Nowhere
necessarily a safe stuff either.
That's true. That's a good point. Roll to manipulate someone. I think that's brilliantly done.
And I'll pay for any damage.
Local, rich business owner makes ship new again. What you got? We've got the lighthouse.
A 6. But, 8, because it's plus 2.
Oh, oof, you had me in the first half. An 8 will do it just fine. I think you've given him enough now that he'll take it. He'll say, "Well, you seem a powerful lot, that's true. I'll go in, but I want your promise that nothing bad'll happen to this ship, or I'll tell all the town about every last one of you. Your strange talking dog, your hairy face and long teeth, oh my. And I've seen you push things bigger than I know how to shove. Only you. And he looks a lot at Juno. What are you, an alien?
Alien?
I don't know, I'm asking. I've seen all sorts of strange things this day. A lobster as big as a house. A talking dog.
Yeah, sure. I'm an alien.
All right. He starts to bring the thing in, looking warily over his shoulder the whole while. And we see as the light finally hits the horizon, a dim twilight begins. As you make your way towards the cliff sides, we see on the outskirts that the caves extend somewhat below the water. This enormous creature seems to be hiding in one of them. But there's one on the land that seems to be just almost as if a campfire is lit there. The light, a little strange. We see a car parked up on the way as well. Its headlights off, but the lamp inside that our parents always told us was illegal to drive with on, illuminating a person reading a book. You can just barely see their silhouette as you pull up close. So far, it looks like they haven't noticed you, but Greg looks warily at the lot. He says, "I'll take your paddle boat in. You can take the dinghy. But I won't bring my baby in any closer than this."
Okay.
Fair enough,
I
Captain.
will climb
Thank you.
into the dinghy.
4 folk in the dinghy. We do see Christina look at the lot of you and say, "I'm not sure there's room for me in that boat. Please, don't kill the creature if you can."
That's actually what I do. The first thing I'd like to do is talk to. Do you have any ideas how we can stop it any other way?
These creatures are ancient. If it has grown this large, it is old. We cannot control why it has come up from the deep, but I think if we can do enough damage, we should be able to drive it away. Just don't drive a killing blow. Please.
Can I ask her, do you know anything about smaller versions of this creature? Like, this must be like kind of like a crab or a lobster. Do you know how one might stun without killing such a crustacean?
These animals grow. The only thing holding them from immortality is the thickness of their carapace. So your piercing weapons are probably your best bet against its thick claws. But underneath its belly, there's softer places between its legs. Not a place I'd like to find myself, but should you, a stab there, or something of its ilk. Perhaps, and she looks at Morgan, if you could use some of your powers to hold it up, expose its weakness.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
And the captain shouts back, "I just shook it. Put some real electricity in the water and give it a zap."
That would fry all of the other fish in the surrounding area, Captain.
Well, we'd have a good catch for the day, all right? I'm happy to feed our town better than we've been. This thing's been cutting our nets for months.
We'll keep that in mind, Captain.
We see him go away, and Christina waves at you as you depart. Any parting words as our go? Marcus, you've gone back to human form in the ship, I believe.
I have, yes, and I'll grab a couple of harpoons to hand out in case anyone needs it.
Yeah.
I'll grab 3.
We see 3 harpoons tucked underneath your arm and your hoodie, not really obscuring the long rods and dangerous points of the weapon. We toss them into the boat, and who takes up the oars? I assume we give it to Marcus, actually. Never mind. I'm just going to say Marcus takes up the oars. We see the lot of you head out towards the beach, the crashing waves pushing you forward. You can see a shadow headed out the way towards the boat, something on its way towards Greg's ship. He's gunned the engine and has started to pull away, and something gives chase. So the four of you, go ahead.
I'm going to tune in.
Tune in. Great timing for it. Danae, give me a roll plus weird. Will you please read the move for us while you roll?
Wait 1 second. I put my glasses down.
No worries. We see as you reach out, the shadow passes just under your vision, and for just a moment you see the tip of a red carapace moving beneath the surface, displacing the water as it goes. Its wake enormous as it begins to breach. What'd you get?
Tune in. I rolled an 8 plus 3, 11. Tune in. You can attune your mind to a monster or minion. Roll plus weird. On a 10 plus, hold 1. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. On a 10 plus, hold 3. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. On a miss, the monster becomes aware of you. Spend hold to ask the keeper one of the following questions and gain a +1 ongoing when acting on the answer.
Wonderful.
My choices were...
Now you can do the question. We'll do the questions later. Don't worry. Just go ahead and give those dice a spin.
I did. So I rolled an 8 plus 3 is 11.
11 will get you some. What would you like to know?
How can I attract its attention?
Whoa. Not the way I expected you to go, I'll admit. We see as you can certainly light off some sort of flare. It's up on the surface enough that it could see that sort of thing. But your best way to do it would be to get into the water, flail around a little bit, move something enormous, shake up some tension. It's a dangerous choice, but that may not be what you're here for. Looking around, you can certainly see that the caves on the beach are still glowing with that same flickering firelight, but it's not quite the sort of bright orange red of a campfire. It's something more sickly. You have one more question, right?
I get 3 total because I rolled a 10.
2 more.
Monster. Unless I can tune in on whatever that fire is.
What I'll say is that the trail leads here. No, you're right. Keep it up. What's the other 2 you'd like to know about this creature?
I don't think any of them fit because where's the creature right now? We know. And what's it planning to do? It's going after the shadow.
In that case, we'll move forward. Just a quick. As we take the boat to beach, who is the first off? I imagine it's Cluedo, but I want to give a player the chance to go behind the dog.
I think I'm just following Cluedo.
Right behind.
As athletic, if Marcus wants to leap over me.
I would probably go last and sort of
Keep up the flank
between the most people. So I would be last out actually.
We see the group hit the beach and into the caves towards the caves you start to go. Cut into the side of the cliff of the lighthouse. We can see as the dog leads you towards them, and there up on the hill, the lights of the vehicle turn on. Cluedo turns towards it and starts to bolt. He heads towards the caves one way, but the lot of you are going to be spotted. Right now, it's just the dog. As the car sort of rumbles to life, the key in the engine turns. What do the ones on the beach want to do here? Marcus?
I'm going to hex.
Jinx?
Car.
A hex? Excellent. Give it a roll.
Well, actually, hexing it just allows me when I use magic to either do harm, target...
Yeah, it's not quite a... Oh, that would work. You want to try to turn the car off? Great.
Yeah, so use magic.
Plus weird?
That is 9. Yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12.
We hear the car sputter and try to turn to life. Marcus, Jinx, you're going to be spotted if you move too far forward into those spotlights, but you could try to sneak around. There is enough darkness, shadow, and shrub to make your way. Would you like to act under pressure?
If the lobster isn't immediately chasing my group, then yes, I would like to try it. Sneak around outside of the headlights.
Our monstrous starts to move. How about for you as well, Jinx? Your dog is already headed for the caves, spotted as he is, darting there with his nose on the ground, but he's just an animal. Are you on Marcus's tail?
Yeah, I'm sticking behind Marcus.
Marcus, act under pressure. If it's good enough, we'll count it for both.
Fantastic then. That is an 11.
11 gets you both in clean. As you're moving your way around and towards the caves, we can see that there's voices from within, and this sickly glow seems to radiate outwards. You can hear someone neither of you recognize, and then the distinctive dulcet tones of one Pete Murphy. You can hear him saying, just dump it there. It's fine. Just put it in there. That pool is just like any other pool. It's going to be okay. And we hear Pete bossing some people around inside of there. You've made your way around past the lights, but there seems to be at least one more goon inside. What do you want to do?
So it's just Kay, Cluedo, and I in there at the moment?
For now, yeah. I think Juno's probably on your tail. We'll catch up with Quat in just a second.
Okay. I hate myself for this, but it's what I'm going to do. I am going to step out, try and figure out what they're doing, and stop him.
You're going to try to stop him.
Vincent, put the barrels down.
We head back to the clue table for a quick look at the barrels in question. We see as Pete Murphy bosses around a big grumpy man who is sort of dumping one of these barrels into the water, right into the bay. We can see Pete sort of like looks around and says, "Oh," and darts off. No waiting at all. He's in the woods, his loafers crunching twigs. We see the big man turn towards you and says, "Ah, damn it." He grabs a crowbar. He's going to come and give you a clobber, Marcus. What are you going to do?
So what I was hoping to try is to talk them down, but if I see someone
Pete's going to bolt.
with a crowbar, then I'm going to shift again. And I'm gonna say, I said, put the barrels down.
Ooh, into werewolf form, a transformation. I kind of almost imagine sometimes, Marcus, we see like almost like a Sailor Moon character do it. Like there's it's like a beautiful glittery moment after you've revealed it for the first time. You know, yeah, like a moonlit transformation. And we're gonna see you roll to kick some ass. Jinx, as our monstrous goes in to try to dodge and dip under a crowbar, what does our meddling kid do?
I think I tell Cluedo to catch that man. And as Cluedo goes to take off after Pete, I'm just running after Cluedo.
We see you begin to take off after the dog. The dog darts into the woods. I think we're going to go with an act under pressure here. Unless you have a move you'd like to use instead.
Nope.
Cool.
That works.
Plus cool.
I have a 10.
A 10, a perfect success. You do exactly what you intend to do. Pluto darts into the brush, grabbing onto the seat of the pants of this man. We see Pete as he kind of lurches forward. His pants get ripped at the seams, and for just a second, we see that he has goofy underwear on underneath it. There's blocks of cheese and little mice scurrying on holes in the wall, and he looks back like, oh. Pluto, good boy, I have a treat for you here, and he pulls out a fish head to try to feed your dog. We see as you come up behind him, what do you say to Pete?
Can I use the tell me the truth action here?
I think that's a great idea. You're going to certainly question somebody here, so you can add to that list of questions, roll plus sharp.
That is an 11. So.
An 11 is pretty solid. You get 2 questions, and they may be from this list as well. What do you ask first? Role play me through the beginning of the conversation.
Pete, what are you doing here?
Well, I've been. I don't even know that guy. I was trying to get him to stop doing what he was doing. I caught wind of some chemicals being poured in the bay, and lo and behold, here I am stopping it.
How did you even find out that he was pouring chemicals in the bay?
Well, somebody has to be doing it. Have you seen the ecological reports? They just got published publicly in the newspaper. Unfortunately, I've been trying to get to the bottom of that all day. And we're gonna. You have a question here. We're gonna go with our. Do you want to know if he's lying to you, or do you have a different question you'd like to ask?
The tell me the truth I want to know is, what are you plotting?
You're looking back. You can see Marcus grappling with someone. We'll describe that combat in a second, but we see that on these barrels is actually written Murphy Chemical Research. It's a local logo, very familiar on billboards, and people work there. They come home with it on their outfits and come to the diners wearing it. It's a little company just outside of the main city in Maine. We can see that they've come up here to dump, and Pete Murphy, as the harbor master, is complicit in the crime. He's sweating as he looks down at the growling face of Pluto. Let's turn back for just a moment to the boat. Juno, Morgan, what are the two of you doing? Morgan's connected to the monster right now, maybe knee deep in the wake as you pull the boat up. We see your hand going out. It is headed for the ship. But what is our searcher doing?
I think she has to read the best situation.
An ideal choice, my friend, plus sharp for you.
That is 9 plus 2, 11.
11. You guys are on a streak. I love it. We see 11 for this. Gets you 3 questions. For the first time in the mystery, let's read these out. We've got the best way in or out, dangers we haven't noticed, biggest threat, most vulnerable to me, or the best way to protect the victims.
Let's go with what's the best way to protect the victims.
Assuming that the boat is the victims with Greg and Christina, you might need to try to draw this thing's ire. If you could be a more tantalizing morsel than the fishing ship, than the lobster boat, you might have a chance. It's unclear exactly how to do that, but Morgan may have an idea. You have 2 more questions.
What's my best way in with this lobster?
If you're gonna head to the boat, that's certainly the best way out to where it goes, or it's the best way to its caves that are beneath the surface. Are you much of a swimmer, Juno? Do you feel inclined to get in that water?
I think so.
I think we see our searcher sort of pull back the robed. The jacket, the light jacket, and ready herself for a swim. Juno, describe it for us as you plunge in.
Yeah, she's taking the jacket off, taking her boots off, and she just dives straight into the water.
Morgan, a splash from the side, and you see as kicking feet dive down. Our searcher in the water now. You tune into the monster. Do you want to ask one more question, Danae?
So, I already asked Heather. What does it regard as its biggest threat?
Ooh.
What is it planning to do right now?
What is it planning to do right now? As it kind of like streams out towards the ship, you sense that it's there for revenge. A lobster boat, the likes of his, has taken thousands of lobsters out of this bay. And this lobster's probably going to go and wreak some havoc. It's big enough and angry enough to do so. But it did take the fish from that ship. Maybe it's hungry. Right now, what it's going to do is go get Greg Anderson.
Okay, Morgan's gonna run out into the water and start splashing the water and yelling, "Who wants lobster for dinner?"
Oof. I think I'm gonna ask you to do some weird here to see if you can draw some attention. Or an act under pressure plus weird instead. How about that?
Okay, act under. Dude, that's a 4.
4's not gonna do it, and you are alone. Would you like to use a luck here?
Nope.
I love it.
Level up.
In that case, as you take that experience, I'll take a hard move. We see as where? That track. We see as in the cave. Marcus, you rolled to kick some ass to try to defend yourself from a lurching minion with a crowbar. What did you roll?
I did. So using unholy strength, monstrous, I rolled weird instead of tough to kick some ass. So that brings me to an 8.
An 8 is a mixed success. You and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other. He gets a good blow in, the first of the fight, and we watch as it brings it down. You bring your hands up, and he moves it down, ducking under, and it cracking through to a rib. Are you fully transformed at this point?
Yes.
Then horrified, he sort of lurches back. "What the hell are you?" And he throws the crowbar. You bat it aside and lurch towards him. What do you do to do your harm?
I bat it aside. I will grab him by the throat. And I would say, I'm someone who wants the water the way it should be. And I will just slap down with my claws across his chest.
We see you deal that harm. How much is it?
My base for my claws is 2, and I ignore armor if he happens to.
Not a chance. He goes down without a sound, a whimper, into the ground as he sort of collapses. Oh, he's not done, but he's certainly done fighting you. We see as the car doors have slammed shut, and running down the way towards you seems to be a man with a flashlight and who knows what other kinds of weapons. Marcus, what are you going to do here?
Let's see. So K ran off. If that person is down and doesn't want to fight anymore, I'm gonna run full tilt at whoever got out of the car.
Oof! We see as our werewolf lunges for the grunt. We're gonna do it again to you, Kevin. Roll to kick some ass here. This time I'll wait around for the result.
Okay. So again, rolling weird. This is a 12.
That unholy strength is powerful, a perfect success, and more. With a 12 plus, you get to have an enhanced benefit. So you can give everyone in the fight +1 forward, take no harm, deal double the normal harm, or drive the enemy away in a rout.
Have I seen who this is yet? We're sort of just running at each other.
It looks like he's he looks like he's got the same sort of set of overalls as whatever that slimy guy in the cave behind you is wearing. He's got the look of a man who's willing to do bad things for money.
Okay, that's all I need. I'm gonna go full tilt. I'm gonna tackle him. Go full tilt, tackle him, bring him to the ground, and then just sort of slat across his face to knock him on the ground.
Bloodied he is for certain. We see as Marcus downs another foe. In the woods, we see Pete Murphy begin to scramble back from Cluedo, and he says, Look, I don't want to have anything to do with this, okay? I was here to stop this, and I'm going to go now." And he's going to try to turn to leave, Jinx. What do you want to do?
Can I get? I say, Cluedo, attack.
Perfect. A sick. We get let's go with a kick some ass here. Your dog having to roll the tough.
Boy.
What is your tough, if you don't mind me asking, Kay?
Not good. Let me double check. Tough is -1.
I had a feeling.
A 6, so that's a 5.
Oh, 5 won't do it. Go ahead and mark that experience, unless you'd like to use a luck point here.
Yeah, let's use a luck point.
Okay. You bring it to 12. Since you were trying to attack, he is going to deal some damage, so you can either bring that roll to a 12 or avoid all harm from an injury. Which would you prefer here? As Pete is going to lash out at Cluedo.
I want Cluedo to avoid injury.
Wonderful. In that case, we see as Pete goes to give him a kick, and you watch as Cluedo ducks under it like a martial artist, lunging into the side of the leg. Cluedo bites deep, and then he just wrenches Pete's leg out from under him and backs up. He points his nose down, and you can see that there's a light, almost radioactive glow on Pete's shoes. He's certainly complicit in this, and if anyone can get a hold of the sheriff, you've got evidence enough to put this man behind bars. How do you want to keep him here? Or do you take him back to the encampment to get some help with from Marcus?
Can I get Cluedo to fetch his shoe? Like, grab his shoe off his foot?
Cluedo grabs it off. It sort of sniffs it, like, oh, he shakes his head. He's like, no. No. He looks like he needs a snack first.
Would you do it for a Cluedo snack?
He puts up his fingers and he like counts down. He's like, what?
3 Cluedo snacks.
He holds up all of his fingers because he's only got 3 fingers, and he's like, yeah, 3 sounds good. And he comes up and he just takes it off your hand, and then he goes back and grabs his shoe and like makes it stinks face. Pete comes hopping down after you like, no, those loafers are expensive. And we see that you've got his rich body by the Cinderella slipper. As we head down to the boat, we see as Juno has slipped beneath the waves. Inside of this place, Juno, you can see that this lobster has laid a full catch of eggs, too heavy for her to bear. She's let them loose, and there are already around this place lobsters of her species beginning to teem from the eggs. As you look up in the way, something is dripping down, more viscous than the water of this bay, and you can see this green glow coming from the toxic fluid. Something is being poured into this place. Juno, what do you want to do? A tough spot for sure, but you know it. You can take it to get that information handled by someone elsewhere if you need.
I think she has to swim up and talk to, Christina.
For the boat, you'd swim. The boat is that's a good jaunt. I think you could get to the beach and call her.
Let's do it.
Taking your wet clothes off dry, we see as Morgan greets you at the beach. Morgan, your phone in your pocket would be Juno's best bet. How does the conversation start, and how do you steer it there, Juno?
Okay, so there's some sort of waste being poured out into the water, and I think there's going to be more fake lobsters because these eggs are down there. I feel like we need to find a way to flush this out.
Can I see Christina on the boat?
Yeah, you can see them away. What is your new move?
Telepathy.
Oh, she's a distant pinprick, but I think you know her well enough this day. You're connected enough to go. You can definitely try to chime in.
Okay, I'll try to connect with her. Did you want me to roll weird?
You'll roll plus weird to make this connection at a distance.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh. Did we...
Too far. Way too far. Okay, that didn't work.
What'd you get?
Good take out her phone. I rolled a 3 plus 3. Oh, no. I rolled a 4 plus 3 is 7. So that is
Success.
partial.
Awesome. For this one, you've just taken a new move, so you should give us a quick read, please.
Telepathy. You can read people's thoughts and put words in their mind. This can allow you to investigate a mystery or read a bad situation without needing to actually talk. You can also manipulate someone without speaking. You still roll the moves as normal, except people won't expect the weirdness of your mental communication.
We see as you try to make a connection, we can feel as this connection is at such a distance that it crackles like a radio that you can almost hear the person on the other side. Christina says, "Hello, hello, who is this?"
I am so sorry to do this without permission, but you're really far away, and I got in the water. Oh, this is Morgan. I got in the water, and my phone got destroyed. You guys have to get back here, Christina.
Oh, what?
There's more of them. There's eggs in there.
She's gonna say, "Lobsters carry their eggs. They're light enough to go in clutches under their bellies. Are you sure?" And you look at Juno, who can hear you. Juno gives you a nod. You're sure. There was dozens of them, if not hundreds. She's gonna take a cold pause and say, "They must be destroyed."
Okay. Well,
We will lead the lobster away.
okay. And break the connection.
We see Marcus coming up the beach with Jinx and the rest. All 4 hunters together. Pete Murphy, a growling dog at his heels, a shoe in his mouth. We see as Pete hops along like, "Oh, sand! I don't want to get sand. These are $100 socks." Our hunters are together. Juno, give them the bad news.
Okay, so we have all these eggs down here, and he looks over to Morgan. Are we destroying them?
We're destroying them. And if Christina says to destroy them, then that means something.
So we're in the predicament,
So
and
whatever's
there's
going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can try to use my telepathy to keep the ooze from dripping on you guys while you destroy them.
Destroy what? Says Pete. Pete looks at you. Destroy what? What are you talking about?
There's eggs under the water.
Eggs. We see Pete crooks a crooked capitalist eyebrow and says, "A delicacy. I could find a way to use this. No, we don't have to destroy them. It's fine. Leave the eggs. It's okay. Let them grow. Giant lobsters? Come on, people. Think with your minds."
Can I punch him?
Yeah, you knock him out. We are approaching the end. We found our clues. We know what we need to do, so we set out to do it. Who is headed underwater with Juno? Who is staying on the beach up top?
I'll go under it.
Marcus, do you wear your signature sweatshirt under the waves? Mark, I was about to say, do we fully see the werewolf form for the first time as you dive in, or do you wear your clothes in?
I know. So Juno is. I'm going down with Juno.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Juno is the only one I might trust to leave the hoodie with. So yeah, I'm going down wearing it.
Jinx, what about are you and Cluedo are holding on to Pete right now? Is there anything else you want to do here in our final scenes? Can you tell us what we see on the beach from our meddling kid?
I think that Jinx is just fully documenting things on her phone and in her notebook, like compiling evidence to give to the sheriff to make sure that Pete is not going to get away with this.
Morgan, how about from you? Are you getting in the waves, or are you up there making sure Pete doesn't get away?
Morgan is calling the sheriff and
Perfect.
letting him know that he needs to head over.
2 characters engaging with Mr. Dana. He'll come on our page for our last character card. Congratulations. He'll say, Morgan, what's happening? And we hear you start to tell him what's going on, and minutes later we can see sirens. Down below the waves, we see our divers go. It's a shame. A whole clutch of these creatures will need to be culled, lest these seas roam with lobsters as large as that. Our hunters go down morose. Tell us, what do you do?
So Juno would just see, if we weren't underwater, my eyes would be filled with tears as I just break through these eggs, and with each one I get angrier and more frustrated that it had to come to this.
Juno?
You just see Juno kind of struggling to do this very well. You know, like she's not like, I feel like when you're wading through water, you're just doing it slowly. So she's getting by. She's noticing Marcus, but she's just like, we got a job to do, you know.
The both of you act under pressure for me. A last roll of the day, perhaps, unless things go terribly awry here.
Things are going terribly awry.
Oh no, tell me more.
Well, I rolled a 5, so.
A 5.
What a coinky thing. I did too.
Let's go. No, I'm joking.
As our heroes successfully finish this clutch, we see as the 2 of you, something looms behind you. And from the ocean's deep, you see a creature large, enormous. As its claws grasp onto both of you, we see Marcus scrambling at its edges, pulling, clawing, fighting the 2 of you. Juno caught up in its grasp, starting to move and twist and try to get away. And we see as the creature heads into the brink, darkness fading behind. Our heroes captured. We turn to the beach. The sheriff arrives. He's putting Pete into the back seat, and we see as Morgan and Jinx wait for an hour, 2 hours. And then the fog starts to roll in, and we do not know the fates of our hunters for now. As that's where we're going to end our story. Jinx and Morgan, in a vignette that comes after, we see our 2 hunters searching desperately for friends or taking some time after to reconcile themselves. Where do we see our meddling kid and her companion?
I think I'm asking Cluedo to search the shoreline. We're not leaving this spot until we find our friends.
Search parties along the way are guiding you, but your dog's nose is keener. And in the shadows and darkness, we see beams spread across the feet of these trees. Morgan?
Morgan's going to have Captain Anderson take her onto the boat. And she's going to try to tune in. She'll be tuning in to the creature to try to get an idea of where he is.
We see Morgan and the captain and the scientist, Dr. Christina Williams, plying the sides, looking for their friends in both the mundane and the magical, spooky radars pinging the coastlines. And unfortunately, that's where we're going to end our adventure. So, let's ask some questions to see if we can get a little bit of experience, and let's take off to the clue table to see what we managed to finish. First and foremost, everyone, thank you for playing. We did manage to solve the mystery, so I think the answer to our first question is a yes. And the question is, did we conclude the current mystery?
Yes.
I'm reluctant
I
to
don't
say
know.
yes since we've... I don't think so, because where our friends disappeared, so can it be a conclusion?
Yes, because we solved what the creature was and how it was created.
I think that there is a mystery solved here, but I think there is a mystery solved, so I would give it to you. We can readdress this at any time, but I think it's a safe bet. Second question: did we save someone from certain death or worse?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, an easy yes there. The third: did we learn something new and important about the world? These are individual answers. So for our hunters that are new here, you can't cross streams with your other hunters. So if you've got one, don't be afraid to bite it up.
Sorry, I didn't understand that last part.
Did we learn something new or important about the world? If somebody says that there's giant lobsters, nobody else can say that there's giant lobsters.
Gotcha.
I think we learned that one of the other rich families in town has been dumping their waste in
Perfect.
the harbor.
That's a yes for Morgan. What about for Marcus? Kevin?
My thing, I guess, is the first time I'm finding out about this family, and I do not like these at all.
I've done good. I've done good. Yes, I want you to hate Pete. He's awful. Perfect. How about for Jinx? Okay.
Yeah, Jinx has learned that there are like humanoid creatures like Marcus living amongst the townsfolk, and she thinks that this is pretty cool and might need to think about, setting up base here permanently.
Wonderful. And how about for Juno, Qua?
I think Juno's figured that it's not all magic, There's some, it looks like wonky science that plays a part in this.
I love that take. It's it's some of it is more the natural or even the human world, and we've learned our lesson on this one by temporarily losing two friends. Wonderful. Our last question is: did we learn something new or important about one of the hunters? And I like to think this is kind of like a stars and wishes, a great chance to say what you loved about somebody else's playbook. These are the same individual answers. Who'd like to go first?
I'm gonna go with.
I learned.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Qua.
I just love that there's a talking dog, like.
Oh, that was going to be mine.
I know. That's why you got to bite them up. You got to snag those yeses at the end here. Great play, Juno. Go ahead, Danae. What did you learn about a hunter?
I learned that being a werewolf makes Marcus very strong.
Insane. Marcus, what do you got? What did you learn about a hunter?
I mean, I was also going to say a talking dog.
Oh my, maybe you should do Cluedo. Maybe give this man the baton. I mean, whoa.
Else voice work than I am.
But first of all, I do love the Meddling Kid playbook. This is amazing. But for me, it's also the idea of a quote unquote kid being so composed and helping out with this. So I think Jinx is definitely someone that Marcus needs to watch a little bit more closely.
Okay, who did you learn something about of our hunters?
I thought Morgan being the spooky was really, really cool. I'm new, so I didn't really understand the mechanics as much, but the fact that this, seemingly humanoid has this kind of divine occult powers was really interesting to see how she could use that in multiple ways, both like telekinesis to lift something up and to like reach into people's minds to communicate. It seems really
she won't do that
versatile.
normally without asking permission.
Very fun. Awesome. If you've got 1 or 2 yeses, you get to mark 1 experience. If you got 3 or 4, you get to mark 2. Now, another mystery concluded. We've got fine folks here in Haven Mill. We don't always solve it all the way through, but we did get most of the way on this one, and our heroes saved the day once again, proving that friendship, courage, and a little bit of cartoon logic, even the scariest monsters can be defeated. If you're in the mood for something grittier, join us tomorrow for Dust and Shadows, high noon, Central. Sun beats down, same mysteries, running deeper, stakes are life and death. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep helping your neighbors, and remember, in a world full of monsters, sometimes the real magic is just being brave enough to care. I'm going to go spend some time with my players. Thank you for your time.
Bye.
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 Thank you.